Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. I am your host for this evening here, Malc. With me will be Tim, but he'll be joining later on. Hopefully he'll join me at Q3 in the qualifying at the Canadian Grand Prix here. And it's an absolute belter of a race here. We're back after 2 weeks after the week break off from the Invictus Racing League, and it's a good and refreshing for the guys here to try and get themselves prepped up and ready to go here as well. So just try and see what happens here from everyone's point of view. We're just waiting for some of the drivers to start off. As I said, we are going to do this is the full qualifying, and it's good to see everyone all set and ready to go here. Looks like we're about to start in a moment or two. But if you've been watching Invictus Racing League in the Performance League and you've seen the action going on between Moreno and Cliffy, those are the top two drivers who are battling out for the Drivers' Championship as well. But also there's some battle for the constructors as well, but the guys are going to slowly start the qualifying. But a bit of a recap: Moreno just in the lead by 4 points with 108 points. Then Cliffy is in second with 104 points. Nightshades is in third with 85 points. Scottfielder is in fourth with 84 points. Scott Bugner is in fifth with 72, joined with Nigel Gash in sixth with 72 points. Niels Barser is in seventh. With 67 points. Oh, Stephen is in 8th with 66 points. Roy Boy is in 9th with 64 points. In 10th place is Cryptox is in 59 points, and the rest are under 59 points. I believe, obviously, with the qualifying scenario, and it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be a massive rain scenario. If there is, there'll be a bit of a shock awaiting as well. But we'll find out in a moment or two of the weather crew to find out what's going to happen as well. But they're slowly coming in now. Obviously, just a recap: in the full qualifying scenario, if you do crash at any point, whether it's just a DNF, you will be eliminated straight away. So that's what they need to be careful on as well. And about to see now. It looks like is it a Q1? It's not a nice, beautiful start here. So we've got 15 drivers here. 15 drivers. Normally, when you have the 20 drivers, it's normally the first 15 that goes through. So. But it'd be good to see if the guys, once we've got the 18 minutes, we're good to see what the pace is actually, to be fair. Because you've got Mike in the Ferrari, who could be the one to watch as well. You've got Cryptox as well in the, I believe is in the Red Bull as well. So he'll be the one to watch. You got, obviously, Sab and O'Stephen in the Mercedes as well. But we're just waiting for some more info from the guys here to see what's happening, because normally with the qualifying scenario as well. But let's just get the stats ready. So it looks like one of the drivers, looks like the Hailstone's already out. So be interesting to see. He's in the Racing Point car as well, and in the soft tyres as well. So the gaps between the softs and the mediums are normally about 4/10. So whatever time that can do around here, this will be not much of a difference. But the tyre wear is massive, as in tyre length, for the softs and the mediums. The softs can only last, if my calculations are correct, the softs should last about, so the softs can last about 12 laps fresh. Obviously if you're doing the qualifying like a 1 lap, it like in and out laps, and the full qualifying lap itself, 9 laps is the best that you could do to start with. But with this scenario, it's good to see how they can try and do as well. We're going to do the actual qualifying scenario from the Hailstones point of view. We come up to, which is Garage Centre at turn 1. Then we come to turn 2, which is the Island Hairpin as well. We're going up the hill here as well, and this is the part where you can easily cut the corner here at turn 3 as well. And then into turn 4, trying to get your exit, trying to avoid hitting the wall. Then coming to turn 5 now. And then we're coming to the Pont de la Concorde here at turn 6, which is the end of the first sector there, into the second sector now. Passing into turn 7, then 8, the long straight now. This is the part where the DRS will be inactive. You need to brake just before the shadow there at the bridge section there. So passing into turn 9. Then we come up to, which is the end of the second sector as well. Some of the drivers just getting everyone out of the way there. Just at the nick of time there, Hailstones coming up to there into the third sector now, passing into turn 11 now. Then coming up to, which is the DRS straight here, which is at turn 12 as well. And then coming up to, this is the point where you can easily win or lose massively and invalidate, which is what Hailstones done there, which he did not want to do there at turn 13, the unlucky turn, but he would have done a 1 minute 10.3. He would have done a 1 minute 10.3. That's the time to beat there. Cryptox has done the same there as well, so he would have done a 1 minute 15. Scott Bugner has a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Rimac. That is strange. Yeah, so he's just going to pit. He must have just eager to get back into the pits there, and unfortunately for Scott there, he's going to have a 5-place grid penalty wherever he finishes in the qualifying here. So Nigel Gash is in the McLaren here, so come up to the sharp hairpin corner now, and down the straight here now, passing into turn 12 now. This is, like I said, at the chicane point of view here, you have to brake just after the 100-metre marker and then try and get a good exit here, passing the wall of champions there. And he did that absolutely beautiful there as well. Look, and Nigel can try and do it as well. And it's the first time in the qualifying here with a 1 minute 10.725. A 1 minute 10.725 here now. Let's have a look at Sab now. Oh, Sab's just gone back into the pits there. Just going to see if Cliffy... See if Cliffy did a 1 minute 11.5. Cryptox did a 1 minute 10.8 on the medium tyres as well. So there's only a tenth off Nigel Gash's time there, which is, like I said, it's not, if you're thinking about the times itself, Cryptox, if he was in the softs, he would have done a 1 minute 10.4 had he been on the softs itself. But looks like Cliffy's got purple on first sector here. This is passing turn 8 and 9. This is where I remembered in the F4 series last night, where it was just so tricky to try and get master it there as well. And second sector for Cliffy did a 41.5 now. A 41.5. But it'll be good to see how he can try and push on here now, passing into turn 12 now. And this is the part where he will have to get absolutely spot on here at the chicane point of view here as well. Come up to, just at the whisker at the wall of champions there. And I tell you what, with that extra glimpse of that was just absolutely a beautiful time there from Cliffy with a 1 minute 9.576. That's a cracker of a time there from Cliffy. So obviously, if you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, good interview all. Just a reminder, Q1, obviously the top 15 drivers, as long as you do not DNF, will go through. But yeah, it's just interesting to see. Let's see how Matty can do on the Red Bull car. So let's see what he can try and do here as well. If you're watching the stream here, guys, what do you think is going to happen here tonight? So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think there'll be a shock? Do you think Cliffy will try and beat Moreno on the race? Or do you think he'll try and do it on the qualifying to get a great start there? Moreno has retired from the session already, because obviously the top 15 will go through. Unless something drastically happens here as well. Coming up to 11 minutes of the qualifying here as well. So let's see how Amatic can try and do as well. This is the part where you could be won or lost at the hairpin. So 41.7. He was 2/10 off Cliffy's time in the second sector at 41.5. So it'll be interesting to see how Matic can try and get that extra boost there as well. If he could beat Cliffy's time, that will be immense stuff as well. So here we go, coming to the 100-meter mark there, coming to turn 13 now, and coming to the World Champions now as well. Always hit the grass a little bit there, but he's still going there as well, and just misses out there as well. Good evening to Moreno. How you doing, mate? He says there'll be a race and championship battle for P1 between me, Moreno and Cliffy today. Yeah, I really do hope we see the battle of the qualifying as well as the battle in the race itself, because that will be crucial points regardless, because obviously if you're new to the Performance League, guys, and you're not sure how it all works, every position that you finish, you guarantee points as long as you do not DNF, DSQ, or obviously do not start. But it'll be good to see how with Moreno battling out, just trying to hold on by 4 points. 4 points is the way for Moreno here. Can he keep his composure on track here as well? So a bit good for that. 1 minute 10.5 from the Hailstone there as well. He's one of those drivers who, when he started in the series of the F1 2020 at the Invictus Racing League, he was one of those drivers to watch out for massively there. Moreno says, really depends if I get a valid lap. Yeah, obviously for your side, Moreno, it's just more to see what time, if he can try and match Cliffy's time, or better still, even a little bit better. But he has just done a 1 minute 9 flat there, so fair play to him on that as well. So the Hailstone, obviously all the drivers are all not in the out of the pits. Moreno says last corner is so hard in a quali. It is, because obviously it's called turn 13 at the chicane. That is the unlucky. It's just make or break. It's like, will you risk it for a biscuit type, for try and push that car to limit, but also try and avoid the wall of champions? That is the main. Hello Cryptox, how you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you're going well. I'll tell you what, guys, while you're in the chat and talk about it, what's your thoughts of your race outcome? What do you expect to see? I know Moreno says he's going to try and challenge for Cliffy for P1, but like for the championship as well as the race here tonight. But from your perspective, in the car allocations you've got, what realistic expectations you've got there as well? That'll be good to see as well. But let's have a look at Rymac. So Rymac is in the Racing Point car as well, aka the Racing Point as well. So let's see how he can try and do as well. He's been within the tables itself. Where is he on the tables? Where is he? Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, his last the last 2 races he has done. Obviously, he's just joined the Performance League at that point in time. But the last 2 races he has guaranteed points. So he had 12th, I think it was. He had 12th, and also he had a bit of a higher position as well, which was good to see of him as well, because he's one of those drivers who much respected at the Invictus Racing League as well. But let's see how you can try and do this. The first sector, you need to hit the low 19s. If you can do mid 19s or lower, that is still very impressive. That would be the perfect time, and I think that's probably what Cliffy has done as well, to be fair. Cryptox says, just looking for some good points. That's what Cryptox is saying. Moreno says, Cryptox will get P3 to finish in the German double podium. Oh, we'll have to wait and see if that could happen there. Could Cryptox try and emulate and try and join Moreno in the podium here? That is obviously Cryptox is in the Red Bull, so he's one of those that could watch out for as well, and he's consistent on his day here as well. And look at Rymac as well, just hitting in the 110, nearly 110 flat there, but just missed out by a tenth there with a 1 minute 10.122 there as well. And Sab did a 1 minute 10.6, same with O Stephen as well. Matty did a 1:10.2. Nodgegash did a 1:10.7. Let's see how Scott Bugner do. So Scott Bugner, who he's one of those drivers who has been struggling in the F1 series, if I remember it right. But with the Performance League, he has last week the Monaco Grand Prix, and he's just lost a bit of debris there, so that will hamper here as well. And 1 minute 10 flat there, which is putting him into second place there. So in the Alpha Tower car as well, and he has done an absolute belt of a lap there. As I was saying, just before the break at the Monaco, so the Monaco race, that was the one race where he has had the DNF this season. He has been in the top 10. He has been guaranteed in the top 10 in the first 5 races of the season. So he's in 5th place at the moment. He's a bit behind, like 36 points behind. But still, he could try and get a good start and try and get on to probably get a good start and trying to stop Cliffy and Moreno. But depending on where they're going to be in Q2, Q3, that would be the main question point, and depending on what tyre wear they're going to go for as well. Speaking of tyre wear, but yeah, it'll be good to see how Scott can try, and then he's getting a little bit closer, but obviously he's a second behind Cliffy, so it could be Cliffy trying to, it'll be a bit of a difficult one as well to stop him there tonight. Rymac has retired, so same with Scott, they both retired, obviously with 3 minutes left. Sab's retired, so Nodgegash and Cliffy are the only ones out of on the track here. Nodgegash, obviously, he's had a really good season overall when you think about it. He's in the top 6 in both F4 and in the Performance League as well. With Nodgegash had the first podium of the season for him at Monaco, but the rest of it, obviously, he's had a few, like I said, including the second position that he had at Monaco. It was that one, and also the first race of the season, which was France. They were in the top 10. The rest of it were like under the top 10, just below the top 10 here as well. So it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very, very tough here for Nodgegash. But if you could try and keep that, produce the goods here, you could produce the goods and try and get a good podium here. But it all depends if you can try and stop the guys ahead as well. And just to recap, guys, there is going to be, I've been told by the weather crew, it's going to be a dry race as well. So that will be interesting stuff here to see. I was hoping that it will be a bit of a wet scenario as well, for a bit of a tricky condition to see if they can try and pull off the master stroke in the qualifying, or could be in the wets, but in the race itself. But it's unfortunate for that as well. So let's see. Have a look at Cliffy again. So Cliffy, he was two tenths slower on the second sector into the third now. He's got a great exit there as well, and he just misses out by 2 tenths there. So I'm not sure where he lost the 2 tenths, but still impressive stuff there. Obviously Mike, Nightshade, Scopefield are the only ones who have not done a time active on track. Obviously they haven't retired yet, but I don't think they'll do it anyway. They'll just retire anyway regardless. Moreno already retired earlier on, obviously because of the 15 drivers automatically going through. But with Sab in the 7th place as well with a 1:10.6, same with O Stephen as well. So let's see how Cryptox can try and do, if he can try and emulate it. 1:10.2 Q2. And just missed out by 4th place to his Red Bull allocated teammate for tonight's race and for next week's as well. Is Matty by 100th of a second there as well. If you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. We are in the full qualifying scenario here tonight at the glorious race of the Canadian Grand Prix here. Tim will be joining me later on, hopefully in Q3 or just before. As I was just about to say here, hopefully he has just joined in. I'll just give him a few minutes to get himself prepped up and ready to go. But I was hoping it was going to be a surprise to join in Q3, but he has just come in lastminute.com, shall we say. We're just waiting for Cryptox to finish off here as well, to do his timing here. But if he's not, that'll be fantastic stuff here as well. So... But while the qualifying has stopped now for Q1, I think Cryptox will go into the pits now and we'll be doing Q2 at the moment. If you're not sure how the qualifying works, guys, if you're not sure how it all works in the F1 scenario, obviously the Q1 top 15 go through. In Q2, it will be top 10 go through, but if you're in the top 10 in that Q2 section, and whatever tyre wear you do get will be your starting tyre wear as well. So we're just waiting for Mike, Nightshades and Scopefielder to retire before we carry on. And I'm going to say, if he's all set, ready to go, hello Tim, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Hello Malc, what have I missed so far?
You have missed a second difference between Cliffy and Scott here, between first and second place in Q1 at the moment here. But obviously, the guys, there's only 15 drivers, I'll say 15 drivers, but 13, 15 drivers left of the Q1, so everyone would guarantee to go through. But it's good to see. It's kind of like a bit of a practice qualifying for them as well. And to be fair though, between Scott and Cryptox, between second and fifth, it's only 2/10 with 1 minute 10 flat to 1 minute 10.215. So with Canadian Grand Prix here, do you like the track? What are your expectations of the track itself?
Oh, the track here is amazing. I love it. It's probably my favorite place to drive around, as well as Baku. And that's actually surprising because the tracks are not at all similar. It's just I have the same feeling about this track that I do about Baku, and it's that I really love it. It's always fun to drive around. It's a track that I can really figure out, and I can just find my line, and I can run some solid laps. As far as what to expect from the race today, if the F4 race from yesterday was anything to go by, and really if any race that we've seen here in the past is anything to go by, expect a lot of hits in the Wall of Champions and a lot of corner cutting in that chicane because it is so difficult to nail it just right to avoid that penalty.
Absolutely. You have to try and just get it just after the 100-metre marker for the chicane as well at turn 13. That's why it's the unlucky chicane, and because of that you get the World Champions, as I said earlier on. But the most crucial point of the corners here is turn 3, which is the one where you can easily cut it, and you could easily get a penalty straight away as well. I think it's turn 8 when you just go past the bridge where the shadow is. We'll show you in a minute anyway, for you guys as well, and show you a bit of a recap as well. But from everyone's point of view, turn 8, so turn 3, turn 8, turn 10 is the hairpin. That's the most crucial one to try and do the overtake just before the straights as well. And then also down the straight here for the chicane part, which we just mentioned there as well. Here are your classification for the Q1 scenario here for the Canadian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. You've got Cliffy in first at the moment, Scott in second, Ryan Mack in third, Ryan Matty in fourth, Cryptox fifth, Nudgegash sixth, Hailstone seventh, Sab eighth, Stephen ninth, pardon me, Mike in 10th, Nightshades, Scope and Moreno have all had no times yet, but obviously we're about to do it to find out if they can survive, try and get into Q2, to get into Q3 as well. But the only news that we've just seen as well from their point of view as well, what was it now? Yeah, so in the race itself, the qualifying as well, you have to try and make it absolutely spot on. If Cliffy can try and emulate what he did with the 109s, I wouldn't be surprised if he can keep at that point there as well. But what do you think is going to happen in Q2? Do you think there'll be a bit of a shock along the way, Tim?
Well, I think that we're going to see a lot of drivers play some strategy games here because, as you know, but for the viewers at home, if you don't know, is in Q2, the tires that you set your fastest lap on in this session are the ones that you're going to be starting the race on. And already, as I'm watching Mike pull out of the pits, it's looking like there's some drivers that are choosing the medium tires and maybe going to try the reverse strategy. Of course, this is going to be a long qualifying session, so these may not necessarily be the tires that they want to finish on. It may not be the tires that they want to start the race on, but they are going to give it a go. And I, for one, am a fan of the reverse strategy of going to medium softs or hard to softs, whatever the case may be at any particular track. So I expect a lot of drivers to try that, and I'd say that it'll work for at least a few of them, but you got to have that raw pace.
Absolutely. With the strategies, which I was about to mention earlier on in Q1, which I forgot, sorry guys. The best strategy to go for is a two-stop. You can do the two-stop if you wanted to, or very, very, very risky. It's very risky. You can do a one-stop around here, but you have to manage your tyres and your race pace perfectly around here. So people have gone from the mediums. You can do medium, soft, soft. Or you can do medium, medium, soft. But the best strategy to go for is the soft, medium, medium. Or you can do soft, soft, medium, but it just depends on how well you manage your tyre wear at the same time as well. And we're just waiting for, I think that might be Cliffy. Is it Cliffy? Yeah, I'm going to watch Cliffy actually to see what he can do. So the two drivers banning out. Just see where Moreno. Yeah, Moreno's just behind there. So Cliffy is in the Alfa Romeo car here, and then Moreno is in the Renault car, and Cliffy's still at 20.3 on this first sector here. So the two drivers, just to recap for yourself here, Tim. The two drivers are bowing out in the drivers' championship. Moreno just holding on by 4 points, so 108 for Moreno and 104 for Cliffy as well. So what do you think is going to happen between these two drivers? Obviously, I'm hoping it will be a close qualifying here, Tim, but do you think, what does Cliffy have to do to get Moreno in the race, or maybe in the qualifying at first?
He's just going to have to be very consistent, not just in this race, but in the races going forward. Because, as you said, I was just looking at the point standings as you were mentioning that, and it is very close, those 4 points separating those two drivers. And the best thing that Cliffy needs to do, he doesn't need to worry about maybe getting the points lead this particular race, but he does need to worry about scoring points and, if possible, scoring points ahead of Moreno. It's not the end of the world if he finishes a position or two behind him, as long as he scores points and is close to Moreno so that he can stay consistent. That way, if Moreno has a bad race today or next week or somewhere further on down the line, Cliffy can be in that position to pounce and, hopefully for his sake, grab that lead.
Absolutely. It's just, obviously with Cliffy, he needs to try and get a good start here. He's got a bit of a better car than what he had with the last few races, well, the last 4 races when he was in the Williams car as well. So this is kind of like a bit of an upgrade for Cliffy to try and challenge Moreno for the race here tonight, as well as not only for this race but also for next week as well at Belgium as well. So that would be a bit see how it goes there. But a bit of a recap here. Scott Bugner is in the pole position at the moment here, 109.9. So that is a cracker of a time in the medium tyres as well for Scott Bugner in the Alfa Tauri car. Moreno is in second with a 1 minute 10.4. The Hurlstone is in third with a 1 minute 10.5. All 3 drivers in the medium tyres. So that's a cracker of a time. Stephen did a 110.9. Mike's just done a 110.5, which has put Stephen down to 5th now, and then Cliffy did a 112.7, but he did have wing damage just at the end when he hit the wall of champions here. Tim, who are you watching so far?
Taking a look at Cryptox out there on track now, going through that very tight right hand of a hairpin, going down the big long straightaway now. Let's see what he can do, except he's invalidated his lap, so this will not be a timed lap for Cryptox. So let's go down to Scope Builder. He's currently in P11, of course, with no time on the board. That's really an empty position at the moment. So far, so good on him. This is a flying lap and a timed lap. Nothing invalidated so far. Looks like Scope has decided to go for the soft tires, but he doesn't look like he's actually pushing too hard on this particular lap, so not sure what's going on with Scope Filter there. Nitro Gash, on the other hand, who just crossed the line, shot up to third with a 110.522 in that McLaren.
Fair play to Nitro Gash. He has done well. He's in 6th at the moment in the Drivers' Championship as well. So he's trying and get a good start, and also on the medium tyres as well. So, as you were saying about Scope Filter here, Tim, he had wing damage on his right end plate as well. So he must have had a massive accident somewhere. He must have hit the wall after turn 3, where you can easily hit it massively as well. It's just manic stuff there as well. But at the moment here, with 9 minutes left of Q2 at the full qualifying scenario here at the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, you've got Scott Bugner in first, Moreno in second, Nigel Cash is in third, Hailstone in fourth, Mike in fifth, Stephen in sixth, Mate is in seventh, Cliffy is in eighth, Rymac is in ninth, Nightshades at the moment. Sorry, Rymac, Nightshades, Cryptox, Sab, and Scopefielder have all got no times at all so far here. But looking at those times there, Tim, is there anyone that you're surprised at the moment?
I am actually very surprised to see Moreno on the soft tires only running a 110. I expected him to break into the 109s at least, but as you said, Scott Bugner running a 109 on those medium tires is a magnificent time. I'm also surprised to see Cliffy down there in 8th with a 112, but I'm watching him now. He has started another timed lap, so I'm riding on board with him to see what he can do, and this looks a-okay from Cliffy's standpoint. He is purple in the first sector, so let's see if he can keep that going. He's going to have a DRS zone coming up just about now, I do believe, and going to be going under this bridge, and this is a very tricky corner map because it's a nice little chicane. It's a wide chicane, so you don't have to worry about it being a narrow little part of the track, but those curves are really high, and if you hit them at the wrong angle, they're going to turn you around, and you really need to set yourself up well out of that chicane because it's a nice long straightaway by the time you get to that little hairpin. And then again, you have to have a good exit out of the hairpin because you got this really long straightaway heading toward the unlucky chicane, as you call it.
Absolutely, we're coming up to the wall of champions in a moment here, but it looks like Cliffy has had a great start. Oh, he's hit the wall there, but he's still going there. He's still going. He's still trying to hold on. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful lap there from Cliffy there with a 109.418. He was massively quick on the second sector with a 1.8 gap there. But fair play to him. He's putting a marker already on the medium tyres as well. That is still impressive stuff there. And Sab moves up to second place with a 109.9 on the soft tyres here. Tim?
Yeah, it was just a little kiss from Cliffy into the wall of champions. Going to take a look at Rymac now. He is on a flying lap. He's already got one lap on those set of medium tires, so I'm not sure if he invalidated his lap and had to go again or what. But he's going down this long straightaway, about to approach the unlucky chicane. Perhaps he'll have better luck with the wall of champions than what Cliffy did. He does not hit it. That's A-okay. That's a perfect line through there, actually, I do believe. He's going to cross the line. Where does he end up? P4 for Rymac, a 110.413.
That's still impressive there. But for the only ones that are in the top 10, only Stephen and Sab, the two Mercedes boys, allocated teammates for the next two races, this one and next week's. The only ones are in the soft tyres as well. So obviously the soft tyres can only last about 12 laps fresh. In the race, you probably have to stop at probably at lap 7, 8 because the tyre wear is not great around here for the softs. But the medium tyres should last massively around here as well. So let's have a quick look at, well, I was going to have a look at Cryptox, but he's just moved himself up to second place. But let's see how Nightshades can try and do his lap in here as well. He would have done a 1:11 flat there, so he would have got into 11th place. But at the moment, Nightshades will not improve his time because he is invalidated his lap. Where's Scopefielder now? Scopefielder moves up to second with a 109.751 there. Tim?
And that is a really good time there from Schofielder. Definitely a better lap that time after having some wing damage earlier on. Looks like everybody except Nightshades has set a time now. Nightshades, of course, on his flying lap at the moment, so I'm going to ride on board with him. Schofielder's car allocated teammate, actually, but he has invalidated his lap, so he's not going to be able to set a time lap this time. He's just bypassing that chicane, letting what looked to be the Ferrari driver of Mike go by, if I'm not mistaken. So the Nightshades is going to have to try it once again once he gets back around the line, or if he wants to go into the pits and get a fresh set of tires first. He does have time, but it's going to be close.
It's going to be close, but at the moment here, the only casualties at the moment in is Stephen, Matty and Nightshade. So, and the only thing we haven't mentioned about is the cut-off point. So at the moment, with everyone, well, Mike is in the danger zone at the moment with a 110.579. Sab has retired, so he's comfortable with a 109.9 already. So I think that might be all right actually, where Sab is. So Sab would be all right in the top 10, but I think it'll probably be down to possibly Nitrogash, I think, or maybe Moreno, or maybe even Rymac here. What time do you think the cutoff will be, mate?
I think we're going to see about where the Hellstone or Nitro Gash is. I don't think it's going to be a really big jump when these drivers go out, but we are about to see. It looks like a few drivers are starting to pull out of their pit. Not sure who that one was that I just saw, but we will find out here in just a moment. Of course, Cliffy's still on the top of the board with a 109.4. So, as you were saying, Malc, what does he have to do today in order to help him in the championship battle? Well, he is off to a really great start.
Absolutely. And it's just, as I said earlier on, he's putting a marker in the qualifying itself here. But just watching Matty now. Matty's already in the danger zone at the moment here with in 12th place. He might get into the top, I was going to say top 10, but he's just missed out by 2/10 on Mike's time with a 110.7. Mike only surviving just in the 110.5 here. So the Hellstone is coming out here. I do think it could be down to Rymac here for holding on to 10th place as well. Well, actually, to be fair, it just all depends if everyone else can try and get a good lap as well. But what do you think, if you're watching the stream here, guys, who do you think is going to happen here? Who do you think will survive the top 10 here? Who do you think the three drivers will miss out here? Cliffy is already retired from the session here as well. Hello to the guys who've just joined in the session here. You're right, Spud. How you doing? Hope you're going well. So let's have a look at Hailstone here, Tim. So Hailstone is at 110.5 here on the medium tyres. He's going on the softs here. So he'll need to try and produce one of the bestest laps he has ever done. He's already 2/10 up here, Tim. So what time would you reckon he will need to do?
I think that the Hellstone's going to have to at least be close to a 109, so about a 110-1, something around there. Not necessarily breaking into those 109s, but getting close to it in order to advance over into the next qualifying round. But we will see what he can do. This will be his final lap unless he wants to go for one more and stay out on track. He is purple in the second sector. Let's see what he can do in the third. Going down this long straightaway, I don't think he had the best exit out of the hairpin, but I could be wrong. But he seems to be, so far, so good. Just trying to set himself up well for this nice, tight little chicane. Got to be very careful here. Hits it nice, spot on. Does not go over the curve. Going to cross the line now. Let's see where he ends up. The Hellstone P3, a 109.887. He definitely improved that time.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff there from the Hellstoner. So that's definitely guaranteed him to survive there. But looking at it now, majority of the drivers are already out here as well. So who would you like to see next here, Tim?
Taking a look at Nightshades. He's the only driver who has not set a time. He's on the medium tires, so it looks like he's going to go for the reverse strategy here. Let's see what he can do. He's going down this long straightaway just outside of the hairpin now. So this is going to be his one and only chance at a pole position, at least in Q2 anyway. It's going to be his one and only chance to advance into the next round. Going through the chicane, and he cut it, but did not get a penalty. That was so very close. I thought for sure that was a penalty, but it was not apparently. Nightshade's up to P7, a 110.3. That might just be enough.
That might just be enough here, but where's O'Stephen? O'Stephen is on the soft tyres here now, so he's 4/10 quicker. So at the moment here, he might do 1:10.5 at the moment here. This is nervous stuff here, guys. You alright, Matt? How you doing, mate? You alright? Let's have a look at O'Stephen now. Let's see what he can try and do as well. Needs to try and get a good lap here. He does move up to 7th place, Tim, with a 1:10.2. That is the limiter. That time has stopped now for Q2. Time has stopped now for Q2. So Rymac will not carry on, but he's done a 1:10.1 as well. So where's Nightshade's? No, sorry. Where's Moreno's invalidated his lap here, and he's at the the danger zone at 10th place here. But where's Nitrogas? Nitrogas is in. Coming to the World Champions now. He's trying to get a good lap here on the soft tyres here. Needs to try and do something here, and it's just. I tell you what. Moreno is out. Yeah, Moreno. Moreno's out of the quarterfinal Q2 here. Where's Mike? Mike's coming up to the end of the straights here now, and he moves up to 2nd place there. So fair play to him. But where's Matty now? Matty's coming up too. I'm sorry, Tim. He's invalidated his lap as well. So it will be Nightshades, Moreno, and Matty. The biggest shock at the moment here is Moreno, the Drivers' Championship leader, out of Q2. Tim?
I had a big wince moment there when Moreno actually dropped back to P11 and is now P12, because I know just how important that was. So you're right, Moreno will not be advancing. Cliffy, meanwhile, will be advancing and looking pretty decent for the pole position, and of course that will give them an extra point. So this is so very close, and we're seeing the championship battle unfold right before our eyes. We've got plenty of racing left in this season, but already it's getting dicey here in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously some of the guys who are supporting the drivers here tonight, some supporting Moreno here, will not be happy with that last chicane there. I'm guessing that's from Moreno saying he was absolutely fuming at the last corner, which is the chicane part there as well. So interesting stuff there. Here are your classified Q2 classification for the Canadian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Cliffy still holding on in 1st, Mike in 2nd, Schofield in 3rd, the Hellstone in 4th, Cryptox in 5th, Sab in 6th, Scott in 7th, Nitrogash in 8th, Rymac in 9th, O'Stephen just at the nick of time in 10th place. Nightshades, Moreno and Matty are the unlucky drivers here who missed out on to go advance into Q3 as well. But while we're waiting for Q3 to start as well, it's Invictus Racing League. They are, like I said, we are always on for all live exclusive on the YouTube channel as well. Oh my days. Sorry about that. It was just a little bit of cloudy as well. From what we've been told, it's a bit of a weather. We've been told it was going to be dry here as well. So interesting stuff here to see. The track would be different. But carrying on from that, with Invictus Racing League, live exclusive on the YouTube channel as well. It's always on every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and also Thursdays as well for the PS4 side. PC side is on the Wednesday nights, and also on the Xbox side on the Twitch channels as well. So make sure you do that as well. I will go through the social media side in a moment too, but they're all coming out here already to do their qualifying lap, and the clouds are not great around here, even though we've been told by the weather crew it's going to be a dry race here. Tim?
Yeah, the clouds are definitely looking a bit ominous for perhaps a crazy race. I'm sure that Moreno can kind of get into the mood of the clouds today, simply because he is out in Q2, so he's not in this session in Q3, so he cannot go for the pole. But it's still a dry track, and so far still dry weather, so this might actually help the cars, and they might actually have just a little bit more grip if the track surface is a little bit cooler. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can ask the drivers after the race is over if the car was any different from Q2 to Q3. But I'm going to predict that Cliffy is going to get the pole here. It's a bit of an easy choice, but I'm just going to say that he seems to be a shoe-in for the pole, and there's just not many drivers that can really get close to him on the leaderboard. He just seems like he's on fire here today.
Absolutely. Can he beat the hat trick of qualifying in Q1, Q2 and Q3 to be in pole position? That'll be the main question point here as well. So obviously this is his proper lapping now, and he's trying to get a good exit at turn 2 there as well. Coming to turn 3 now. We could easily corner there as well. Coming up to which is the end of the first sector now with 19.57 now. That's a good starting point there for the first sector here. Then coming up to the DRS straight here now. Needs to try and push. I think we've got yellow flags on sector 3 now. Not sure who that was for. Then we come to the braking point there at the 100-metre marker here, passing to turn 8 into turn 9 now. Cliffy will have to push all his might to produce. If he can try and produce what he did earlier on with a 1 minute 9 flat there, that'll be fantastic stuff there. And he is 41.3 on the second sector here as well. And then coming up to down the straight here, passing into turn 12 now. And into turn 13 at the moment at the chicane. This will be the most crucial point of it all. This is the way forward here. To hit the, just hitting the World Champions, just. And I'll tell you what, you might get 109 here, 109.2 here, Tim. What a lap there from Cliffy. Tim.
And I believe that's faster than the lap he ran in Q2, so he's looking pretty good here for this session. But let's see where everyone else stacks up. Scott Bugner, a 109.6 in P2. Mike is going down the long straightaway now, approaching turn 13 as the Hellstone puts a 110.1 down in third. Rymac, a 109.9 as Mike hits the wall of champions and invalidates his lap. Unfortunate for Mike, he's going to have to pull into the pits and try again. Cryptox, meanwhile, looks like he's still in Sector 2, not yet rounded the hairpin. So we got a few drivers about to start their lap, and who was that Nitro Gas shooting up to P5 with a 109.9?
Absolutely. So just as you was watching some of the drivers there, just watching Nitro Gas just coming through there, and he moves up to 5th place as well. So at the moment here, Scope Builder 3/10 off Cliffy's time in pole position there as well, and still brilliant times there. Let's see how Cryptos can try and do. Probably get 110s, 110s, 1 minute 10.1 here. Just a bit of a recap. In Q1, what you missed that, I was about to say, sorry Tim. Unfortunately for Scott Bugner, wherever position that he's finished, he will have a 5-place grid penalty because I think there was a bit of collision in the pits when he came in. So I think he had a 5-place grid penalty for just a bit of a collision with Rymac as well. So if he does finish in 3rd, he'll drop down to 8th place if it stands, obviously. But everyone else, for Rymac, Nitrogash, Hailstone, Cryptox, if it stands, would have moved up 1 place here. So, Tim, who are you watching so far?
Well, I was watching Sab. He said a 110.5. Looks like just about everyone else is going to pull into the pits and wait for a little bit. Mike, surprising to see him not come out yet. However, the reason might be because they haven't even got his car into the garage yet. So Mike is going to have to come out and try to do one more lap later on. Cryptox, Sab, and O'Steven making their way around the track. Probably going to pull into the pits. Of course, O'Steven looks like he fancies another lap on those soft tires, and he does improve his time, a 110.2 that time. So good job on O'Steven getting in front of his car-allocated teammate of Sab. Cryptox has already pulled into the pit, so it's just the two Mercedes out there at the moment.
Yeah, so the two Mercedes who they're going to the top 10 as well, and they've done like I said, fantastic job as well. Because I know these guys, I know they're really struggling, not just in the league itself, but they're just struggling as well. But I'm sure they'll bounce back, and hopefully this will be a massive boost to get into the Q3 as well, and it's into the top 10 as well. But they need to have a good start if they want to have some proper laps as well. So just have a look at Scott Bugner actually to see what time he would have done it. So he's 4/10 off the leader of Cliffy. Obviously, wherever position, as I said earlier, wherever position that he has done, he will drop 5 places. What does Scott Bugner need to do to try and in the race itself? What do you think he'll need to do here, Tim?
Honestly, I don't know what tires he's going to be starting on, but I would hope that he went for a reverse strategy to where he's going to be starting on the mediums. That way he can stay out a little bit longer than the drivers that will start on the softs ahead of him. Because if he finishes P3 in this session, that's going to put him down to P8 starting, and it's not terrible. but he's going to have a lot of cars in front of him that he's proven that he's just a little bit faster than, so it's going to be difficult to get by them. So instead of trying to pick them all off in the first opening laps in the race on track, you might want to try to pick them off with pit strategy.
Absolutely. Would you have ever thought about doing the undercut at Canada? Do you think that will work for everyone's expectations, or do you think it'll be a bit too much from if you went for it as well, if you was in Scott Butler's shoes, shall we say?
If he finds himself in a big mess of cars and he cannot seem to make any significant moves around them and he's just kind of stuck, I would definitely go for the undercut, simply because at that moment you have to try something. And I think that pitting a lap or two earlier and then trying to overtake the drivers as they pit ahead of you is a lot better alternative than staying out on track in a big mess of cars that you're faster than but can't get around and risking wing damage or getting into a crash.
True, absolutely true there as well. And I did try and do that in the F4 League last night, but it didn't work out at all, to be fair. But let's see how Scott Butler can try and do it in the chicane part here. Coming up to passing the wall of champions now. So let's see what he can try and do as well. He needs to try and produce the goods here. Oh, he just misses out by a tenth there on Cliffy's time. 1 minute 9.3 here, Tim.
Taking a look at Mike now in the Ferrari, the only driver who has not set a time. He's about to go through the unlucky chicane. Let's see what he can do, except he's going into the pits, so he's not going to set a time this time around either. So
he's just not going to try and produce the time, so hopefully he'll try and do one last run here as well. Let's have a quick glance at Hailstone did 109.7. Scope, let's see how Scope can try and do as well. Is he slowing down a bit? Yeah, he won't improve his time there as well. So at the moment, the Drivers' Championship runner-up from last season is Scope. He's done a brilliant job to get into third place in Q3 at the moment, considering he's trying everything he can to catch up with the guys. He's only 24 points behind, obviously, Moreno before tonight's race here. So what do you think Scope needs to do to try, obviously, to stop Moreno, but he needs to try and get a good second half of the season if he wants to really go for it and challenge Moreno and Cliffy for the title, Tim?
Yeah, same answer really with Cliffy, is that Scope is going to have to focus on being consistent, and if he wants to go for the title, there's going to have to be not just one, but two, maybe three wins in the next coming races if he wants to have a shot at that, because he is about 24 points behind Moreno at the moment, so that's not quite a full race gap. However, he's going to have to definitely win a few races, and Moreno might even have to have some bad ones if Scope's going to have a shot. He's not out of it. He's still got a shot. He can still come back, but he's going to have to run these next races. They're going to have to be the best ones of his life. He doesn't have to win every one of them, but he definitely has to get some good points and get a few wins in there.
A few wins, absolutely, if Scope can try and do that as well. But if, obviously, Cliffy's the first driver to win 2 races in the season as well. With everyone else before Monaco, everyone had a win each, which was Moreno, Cliffy, Nightshades, Roy Boy, and also Aaron J. Spence as well. Before then, Cliffy had that second win on the season there at Monaco as well. So let's see how Scopefielder can try and do it as well. Scopefielder has only had one podium all season. That was back in France in the race 1 as well. And Scopefielder just moves up to second place there, Tim, with a 109.317. Who are you watching so far?
Taking a look at Rimac in 5th in the Racing Point machine. Rimac currently best time a 109.961. I look for him to improve on that this time. He's just now going through the first sector, so he's got a long way to go before we see what kind of lap time that he sets down, but he's about to exit the first sector, go into the second sector, so we'll see if he ends up purple or not. I don't think he's going to, though. No, he is not purple in the first sector, so not the best time for Rimac so far, and there you see him just bypassing slow car. I think that was Schofielder who was pulling over to let Rimac by to finish his qualifying lap. Going to go around this hairpin now. He was purple in the second sector, it looks like. So Rimac is starting to pick up the pace. Let's see if he can improve on his lap time once he gets to the end of this third sector here after the chicane. We'll find out, but at least there's no issue as far as advancing. And wow, Mike, a 109.205.
What a time there for Mike there, but where's Rimac? Rimac's coming up to the World Champions here now. Let's see if he can try and emulate Mike's time. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant time there from Rimac there. Absolutely brilliant there. Oh my days, Cliffy is 4/10 quicker on the first sector here, Tim. And he's down on the straight here in the second sector here. Oh my days, Mike, who just hold on for provisional pole for about under 30 seconds, would you say, on that, Tim?
Yeah, he really did. And looks like Cliffy is going to have to deal with Mike just ahead of him. I don't think that Mike's going to block him, but that might create a little bit of dirty air that could disrupt Cliffy's car nonetheless, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. He's not going to have to pass him on track, but Cliffy might actually be getting a little bit of a slipstream off of him now, so that might be A-okay for Cliffy. Let's see what he can do going through the final chicane past the wall of champions, down the final straightaway for the final time in Q3. Cliffy crosses the line, pole position, a 1:08.872. Amazing time from Cliffy.
Absolutely brilliant. Hat trick. We're wondering what the hell? Hat trick because he has got pole position in Q1, Q2 and Q3 as well. So fantastic stuff there, and he could be the odds-on favourite if you use a bookie to try and get him to pole position and to win the race as well. So be interesting stuff there from his point there as well. So Rimac has just retired though, just waiting for Scott to retire here now, and the qualifying has stopped now. So what a time for everyone there as well, and what a lap there from Cliffy. And obviously, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to write off Moreno where he is standing in behind. I think it was 12th, 11th. I think it was 12th it was at the time, but hopefully he'll try and challenge in ahead as well. Here are your Q3 classification for the Canadian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. You've got Cliffy in pole position in first, Rimac in second, Mike in third, Scope in fourth, Scott Bugner is in fifth, Cryptox is in sixth, Hailstone is in seventh, Nitrogash is in eighth, O'Stephen in ninth, and Sab in 10th place as well. I'm just reading some of the comments here as well. So obviously the guys are all still supporting Moreno. I did say not to write him off at all, but it is a bit of a shock that the Drivers' Championship leader was outside of, got knocked out in Q2. Scott Bugner has a bit of a penalty of 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Rimac, I think it was, in the pit entry as well. So while the guys are all set ready to go, I'll talk more about the advertisements, guys, and for the race itself. This is the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live and exclusive for you guys here on the YouTube channel with myself, Malc and Tim for the Performance League, live exclusive on the Thursday nights at 8 PM, not UK time. Not only we are live on the Thursday nights as well, we also got the Monday Night League, the F1 League, the Premier League, the top flight division there of the fastest drivers there is. With Gareth, aka Captain Stiff, and Sab as well for the commentary as well. They do a brilliant job as well. In F2 as well on the Tuesday nights with Harry, and I believe Scott does the F2 side as well, so they do a brilliant job on the Tuesday nights in the PS4 leagues as well as on the F1 for PS4. We also got not only Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we also got the Wednesday nights for F3 and F4 with Rimac and Jakob for F3 and Jake for F4 as well. They do a brilliant job as always there. Not only we're on the PS4 League, guys, we're also on the Xbox League, live and exclusive on the Twitch channels on Sunday nights at 9:30 and also on Tuesday nights at 8 PM as well for the Performance League on Sunday, and also the F2 League on Tuesday nights as well. Not only we've got PS4, Xbox. We've also got the PC League for the first time this season on the Wednesday nights, live and exclusive with you guys as well. But still, not only that, guys, not only we're on YouTube, Twitch as well, we're also on the social media side of Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram as well. So make sure you like, follow, and subscribe as well. Please make sure you like and subscribe to our Invictus Racing League channel and this video for all the live races here as well, massively as well. Not only that, but the most important thing of all here, Tim, I'll tell you now, is you have to go on to the InvictusRacingLeague.com to register. If you enjoy the racing and you want to participate in the leagues itself, why don't you sign up? Go to the InvictusRacingLeague.com. And we're about to sign up for the apply to race form, and one of the guys will get in contact with, one of the admins will get in contact with you to do a practice run to see if you are capable of joining the league. And if you're successful, you might be joining in one of the leagues, possibility next week or the week after, if successful as well. So we're about to start the session here start the race of the 50% race at the Canadian Grand Prix as well. I think it's 35 laps. We'll find out in a moment or two here. But from everyone's point of view here, Tim, 35 laps. So from your predictions that you saw in the qualifying itself, what's your expectations now? What's your top 3 in the race as well?
Oh, wow. So my top 3 in the race, that is going to have to be Cliffy, which is the easy one, Mike, and Cryptox.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. You know what? I'm going to go, obviously, I guaranteed Cliffy for first. I think, obviously, with Cryptox, I reckon Cryptox. Oh, I think we have a bit of an issue with the starting grid. So I believe Scope was not finished or started in 12th place. He should have started in 4th place, hence why everyone else has moved up 1 place. So we had a bit of a technical issue there, guys. So we will be back up as well for the race itself. Yeah, so we're just waiting for a new lobby to start off with. But from that point of view here, Tim, while we're waiting for that as well, what do you think will be the most talking point of the race? And what do you think will be the most talking point of the race itself?
I would say the championship battle between Cliffy and Moreno, which, I'm honestly surprised to see Moreno scored as last place. I thought that there were more than 13 drivers in the field today. I guess we'll find out once we go to a new lobby, because we are, as you can see, obviously having some major communication issues along that front. But as far as I know, I thought that there were more drivers here, so I'm surprised to see that. But I think that the championship implications are going to be a big talking point. I guess we're going to call this race here for just a moment until we do get word on a new lobby. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red lights in the air. This may not be the official start, but it's going to be a start. No red lights. We are green so far for the Performance League in Canada, and with Cliffy leading him down into turn number 1, and Mike in the Ferrari getting a nice run up in second, but there is definitely a big scatter there. So as you said, just waiting on more confirmation. I do believe we are ready to go there now.
Just as you've done that, Tim, I do apologise. I did already left to join the other side, so I would have looked to see what you were seeing on screen there, but luckily,
hey, it was an amazing 2 corners.
I believe you on that. I absolutely believe you on that one as well. So we just do apologise for that, guys. If you just joined, don't worry, guys. We've done the qualifying. We're just waiting for some of the drivers to start up again. We will be doing the Canadian Grand Prix, the race itself. We're just waiting for all the drivers to join in, so that one of the admins can try and sort out the custom grid and ready to go as well. But as I said, we talked about Moreno and Cliffy's battle with the Drivers' Championship at stake as well. Obviously, I'm not going to write off Moreno, as I said earlier. I think he'll do well here tonight. I think if he gets a great start, which I know he will, and try and challenge for the guys here, he needs to try and get at least 6 positions, at least, or probably more, way more, to try and challenge for the podium here tonight. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree, Malc. And it's just going to be a difficult track to really get a podium for any driver, especially. But I think that we're going to see a really good battle in front of us here today with a lot of different drivers. We're going to see a good championship battle. We're going to see good battle for position. I'm excited for it. Canada's one of those places that really never ceases to disappoint. So it's going to be a great race as soon as we can get it going. The league admins, of course, have to set the lineup grid as it was after Q3, so that'll take a moment, get all the settings ready, and then we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. It was just as Tim said, we'll be ready to go here in a moment or two. And Canada's one of those famous tracks, one of those iconic tracks that's been there. Well, it used to be the Montreal track or the Jules Villeneuve track as well. Oh, famous driver as well. So in Canada, you need to have great straight line speed, but also you only get that tricky few corners, especially at first sector. That's the most crucial one. But the last 2 sectors is mainly the straights, which you need to master as well. But if you get a good start, you will do it massively around here. If you do not get a good start, it's going to be a very, very long race, to be fair, because you don't want to have a bad start at Canada. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Canada's, well, really you don't want to have a bad start anywhere, but I do agree with that a bad start is really going to put you into an awful situation in this race. Of course, Moreno is going to be one who really needs to have a good start because he's going to be starting a lot further back than what maybe he's capable of here today. Cliffy, if he has a bad start, he's got a little bit of a cushion, but still, he's just going to have to be on it if he wants to win this race today. He's got a chance to go for 3 wins on the season, and if he won the race today, he might just be able to claw his way up to the points lead, even if Moreno got a podium. Would have to wait and see on that, but we will find out later on. Of course, another big talking point that I don't think we have really touched on, except for briefly in qualifying, was the fact that Scopefilter in 4th is just 24 points behind Moreno, and so while he's going to have a lot of clawing up to do, if Moreno has a bad race today and Scopefilter has a good race, that could potentially give him a little bit of hope for the title.
It could be, but it just all depends. Obviously, the one that we never thought about, or never mentioned about earlier on, is Nightshades. Nightshades is in 3rd. He's only a point ahead of Scope in 3rd place, just ahead. So you could say the battle between the top 2, which is definitely the talking point, but you could have the battle for 3rd place, which could be Nightshades and Scope, possibly Scott, obviously, and Nitrogash as well, depending on how they can try and get a good start as well. Obviously, Scott will have to try and push on from 10th place as well after he had that 5th place grid penalty earlier on in the Q1 scenario. But then also, obviously, with Nightshades, obviously, he's had a win and a 3rd place this season, so 2 podiums, but he has been in the top 10 5 out of the 6 races that he's done. The only race that he could not attend was the Austrian, which was in race 2 as well. So if Nightshades gets a good start, gets challenging Cliffy, possibly in the top 3 as well, that could produce close battles ahead, as we see. But it all depends on how Moreno starts and how these guys, the top 5, with Nitrogash joining, with Scott. Sorry, top 6 with Nitrogash and Scott as well. I'm saying Scott. But like I said, it's one of those battles there that we have to look forward to as well. Just waiting. Looks like we're about to kick off. We might be kicking off. Yeah, we're just waiting for some of the drivers to kick their starting grids. But yeah, Tim, is there any pointers that if you was driving around here, is there any pointers or give advice to the drivers here that you think could be crucial at the Canadian Grand Prix?
It's okay to go a little bit slower through that final chicane if it means avoiding a time penalty, because that time penalty could very easily come back and bite you at the end of the race. So that's really the only pointer that I can think of. Otherwise, just practice before the race and make sure you know the track, because this is one of my favorite tracks. So every time I come here in the career that I play, it's, I'm always excited because I know that I can do well, because I love the track and I can run decent. However, I also know that final chicane is awful, and I've gotten caught out by it more times than I'd really like to admit. So the strategy that I kind of like to take is just go a little bit slower through it if you have to avoid a time penalty, because you do not want to have it coming back at you later on. Absolutely,
and the time penalty will need to be. This track is penalties galore. You need to master it. If you can do with no penalties around here, that is very impressive work. I would watch out for Mike, because last season, or last in the game, he was the penalty king, because he was always consistent and try and push you, but he has got no penalties to he'll challenge you. Even if you had a penalty, he will still be by you in case you did have a penalty, and he would have overtook you at the end of the race as well. But that's the main talking points. So the main talking points that we just discussed as well is the Drivers' Championship battling out. We haven't mentioned about the Constructors while we're waiting for the guys to slowly set up. The Constructor battle, obviously, Moreno Nightshades are in the lead with N&M Racing in first with 193 points. So Scopefield and Cryptox with CMD Racing is in second with 143, so 50 points is the gap between first and second. Neil Sparson and Roy Boy is in third with 131 points. Stephen and Matty with Only Fools and Horsepower Racing there in fourth place with 125 points. Scott Bugner and Sab in fifth place with Dive Bomb Motorsport with 116 points. Nitragash and Vienna as well, with the former of Samu in the previous races as well, in sixth with 114 points. In seventh place, you've got Cliffy and Alan with Kamikaze Racing with 104 points. In eighth is the Hellstone, and Volcanoes Prime is in with 96 points with HMV Racing. You got in ninth with Andre Spence and Mike with Chelsea Pensioners in ninth with 91 points. And last is Jim Rymack, and before Simon was JNS Racing in 10th with 65 points. So Tim, I'm just at the edge of my seat here. I want to see this race to start off properly here. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen here? What's your first corner prediction? Do you think Cliffy will hold on, or do you think that the on push of I think it was it Rymack? I think it was in second. I'll have to get a recap in a moment or two. But what do you think will happen in turn one, Tim?
I think that Cliffy's going to be able to hold on to it, and that he's probably going to clear the pack by the time they get out of turn two or out of turn one or out of turn two. I think that the real scuffle is going to be around second, third, and fourth places, trying to get up there really quick and catch Cliffy. Simply because Cliffy's just so fast here today. We saw Mike kind of knock him off the pole, and then Rymack knocked Mike off the pole, but Cliffy was on a flying lap, so he came back by and knocked them all off the pole. And there you see Cliffy actually went a little bit wide there on the formation lap of all laps into turn one. So not sure what's going on there. That's going to put a little bit of a flat spot on those tires, but everything should be A-okay. So we'll see what happens with Cliffy once they get back around, and we'll take the green flag shortly. Of course, we always have to do a formation lap, make sure that the drivers can get heat in their tires. So after that, we will be going green, and I'd say it's just about time.
Absolutely, but obviously it's a bit of a damper here, because the drivers who already challenged with those tyre wear, it kind of feels like they've got like a bit of extra life with those tyres now, so that it's kind of like all started again on the race itself here. So Cliffy on those fresh medium tyres here in first, Rymac in second, Mike in third, there's Scope in fourth, Cryptox is in fifth, Hailstone sixth, Nitrogas seventh. As you can see, the predicted pit stop strategy, you could do the two stop, which is the soft, medium, medium is the quickest one as well. You can do soft, medium, soft, but or soft, soft, medium, but you have to last those softs as much as possible here as well. Nitrogas is in 7th, Stephen in 8th, Sab is in 9th, Scott Bugner is in 10th, Nightshades is in 11th, Moreno is in 12th, Matty is in 13th place. But as I said, I think you said you've gone for Cliffy, Mike and Cryptox, is that right, for your top 3 finishes tonight?
Yes, Cliffy, Mike, and Cryptox going to be my top 3. However, I feel like maybe I want to add Rymac to that as well, but it's really just hard to tell. Honestly, I think that the entire top 5 have a good chance of getting the podium, and, you know, the Hellstone was even pretty decently fast, and Nitrogash as well. So, and, you know, you can't forget about Moreno, back there in 12th. He's the points leader. He just did not have a good qualifying session, so it's going to be something. It's going to be amazing, but those are definitely my top 3 predictions I'm sticking with is Cliffy, Mike, and Cryptox. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tim, it's all yours for the grid start.
And there you see the drivers lining up on the grid, finding their appropriate positions, and you know they're ready. Their eyes just fixated on those lights and waiting for them to turn on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League Performance League at Canada. And look at this, Rymac already trying to pass Cliffy around the outside of turn number 1. It's 3 wide with a McLaren back there for 4th place. Rymac getting ahead of Cliffy but not edging him out yet. Meanwhile, the 3 wide battle with the McLaren, that was Nitrogash. He has made his way up and he is now running in the 4th position. I think Mike has dropped all the way back down to 5th now, just behind him. Wow, what a start already.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there. I've just caught the aftermath of that turn 1 there, but well done to Rymac at the moment here. But obviously he's on the soft tyres, so he would have a bit of an advantage here to try and get a good start here as well. But fair play to him as well. I'm just trying to see, Moreno's moved to 11th place now, passing Nightshades into 11th place there now. So as things stand here on lap 1 of 35 here, this could be the slipstream galore here as well, which we might see as well. Nightshades and Cryptox. Cryptox must have had a bit of a collision at turn 2, I believe, from the collision that we had from the 3 wide scenario there, from what you said there, Tim. So they're just coming up passing the Wall of Champions here now, Tim. So what are you watching so far?
Still watching Cliffy, and I tell you, he lives on the edge in that Wall of Champions. He gets so very close each and every time in qualifying. We saw him clip it just a little bit too. And apparently he's got his line down pat, but it's also a very precise line, and if you stray off of that, then you're into the wall. So Cliffy, good job on him, and good job on keeping pace with Rymac despite being on the medium tires. I completely forgot that was a thing. I'll just admit to it there. So I am not surprised to see Rymac actually be able to pass Cliffy there on the start, because obviously he had just a little bit more grip and a faster tire underneath him. But how long until Rymac starts to slow down and those medium tires for Cliffy start to kick in?
I reckon possibly, because the tyre wear is now back to square one pretty much. I reckon it'll be about lap 9, 10, because there's 12 laps. Oh my days, who's that? That was the Mercedes. That was the Mercedes and Stephen there. I just saw it at the last minute there. It was just absolutely went completely off at the turn 10 there, at the hairpin there. I don't know if you saw that there, Tim.
No, I didn't see it, but I do see a Renault of Moreno trying to get by Matty, and he does. Now is he going to try to go for Stephen? No, he does not. He backs out of it through the final chicane, past the Wall of Champions. Moreno already running in the 10th position and might have 9th from Stephen here sooner rather than later. They go through turn number 1, but Stephen's starting to pull away from the Renault now. But it's only going to be a matter of time, I think, before Moreno is able to get around Stephen for that 9th position. He's just trying to bide his time at the moment. That's the best thing that he can do. He is on the medium tires, so that's good for Moreno. He's going to have that reverse strategy. That's the same strategy that Cliffy's on, so we might see him a little bit further up the pack later on.
Could be, but Moreno's really going for it here on O'Stephen here. He might just wait a bit, but just watch the battle there of the two Red Bulls of Matty, Nightshades and Cryptops there. But yeah, good evening to Simon. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you're going well. And Jesper says, love that overtake by Moreno. He was absolutely done a brilliant job there from Moreno there. So he's in the top 10 at the moment in the medium tyres as well. So just watching it from his point of view here now and try and get on the slipstream. It looks like he might have another overtake here. Oh no, Stephen, just before the chicane. He's going to go on the inside line here. A little bit perfect there. We'll have the perfect momentum and will have the DRS and try and get away from O'Stephen there. So a lovely overtake there from Moreno there. And Scott Bugner has just gone ahead of Sab there for 7th place there, Tim.
Yeah, so good job there on Scott Bugner. Of course, with that grid penalty, he's having to recover a lot, but he is quicker than most of these cars in front of him, I do believe, so it's just a matter of time before he picks them off. He's on the reverse strategy as well, so that could really help him out, but it looks like ahead of him, there might have been a little bit of a battle. Can't quite find it, unfortunately, so perhaps my eyes have deceived me, but I'm going to go take a look at Cliffy now, because he is within the DRS range of Rimac, but he isn't quite close enough to make a move just yet. But if he can stay there, he'll have the DRS range going down that very long straightaway. A bit of a lockup there, actually, through that hairpin corner, trying to stay close to Rimac. I don't think he's going to be able to have it. It's going to be so very close. Let's see when he enters the detection zone. He does have the DRS. It's wide open. So Rimac's going to be a sitting duck here, but those soft tires are definitely going to help him out. Cliffy, though, starting to close that gap just ever so slightly, and that's what he needs to do every time he gets to a DRS detection zone. He has to be there.
Absolutely. It looks like he needs to try and do something here, try and keep within the DRS zone of Rimac. And when the point of lap 9, between lap 9 and 12, that's where the crucial point will be for that scenario as well. We're on lap 5 of 35 of the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live exclusive here with myself, Malc and Tim on the Thursday nights at 8 PM here as well. We're just watching the round 7 at the Canadian Grand Prix here. Let's have a quick glance at some of the drivers here. Look, we're going to go back to Scott here, who's going to have a try and go at Mike here. He had a bit of a moment there at the back of the wheel, back of the rear wheel there as well, but it looks like he did have the DRS, but he did not have enough to try and close in there. It looks like the Hailstone could be closing in on, we got two to bet, too wide, we got too wide here. Hailstone's made the move, perfect move, absolutely perfect move there, but Nightcash will have the DRS. He'll have the DRS on the Hailstone here. We've got another two battle galore here with Mike and Scott here, but it looks like Nightcash can try and push on here now. Oh, this is going to be close. Scott's made the move on Mike here, and he's just doing enough there and passing the World Champions here, Tim.
Yeah, but Nitro Gash actually hit the wall of champions that time. I don't think he has any wing damage, at least none visible, so very lucky there for Nitro Gash. He did not hit that chicane well at all. He backed off a little bit early to avoid hitting the Hellstone, which was a good thing to do, but it just completely screwed up his line through the chicane. He wasn't able to perfect it, so he did just barely tap that wall of champions, so he's lucky that he got off with what very little that he did, because as I said, I cannot see any visible wing damages. The Hellstone, does he have a problem? He actually let Nitro Gash by. Not sure what happened to the Hellstone, but Nitro Gash has moved up and the Hellstone's dropping back. The Hellstone is actually dropping back. Scott Bugner just got by him as well.
There's no wing damage. I can't see any wing damage on his car there. I was just watching Cliffy because he was getting closer. Now, something must have happened there. Moreno's moved to 8. Yellow flags set us 2 and 3. Yeah, we had yellow flags set to 2 and 3 at the moment here, but here we go. Sab's dropped down to 11th place here. Cryptops moves up to 10th place here, and Cliffy's back up to 1st place now. And a battle here between Scott and Nitrogas. What a move! What a move there from Scott there. And Scope has the first person already in the pits there, Tim.
Yeah, and I'm almost wondering if those soft tires are starting to show their age a little bit sooner than what maybe we anticipated, because Rimac is now 0.7 of a second behind Cliffy. Those medium tires coming to life, but Rimac not doing too well anymore, just barely keeping Cliffy in his sights.
Absolutely. It's just unbelievable stuff there. I did say watch out for those tyre wear. Rimac needs to have a good start, which he did, but the gap was not getting any bigger, and because Cliffy on those medium tyres are starting to build up the temperatures as well. Perfectly there. It looks like Hailstone going to try and make the move here on Nitro Gash. No. We could have a 3-car battle here, Tim. We could have a 3 wide, 3 abreast type here. Could this be happening here? We definitely have two wide here as well, Tim.
Yeah, so it looks like the Hellstone is just trying to recover. Still not sure what went wrong with him. About a lap ago made him lose 2 positions, but unfortunate for the Hellstone, he will have the DRS on Nitro Gas, I do believe, so that's a little bit of a silver lining, but he cannot quite make the pass. Nitro Gas goes into the pits, so the Hellstone doesn't have to worry about it. He passes Nitro Gas after he goes into the pits, but the Hellstone's going to have to start thinking about going into the pits soon as well, because he's got 7 laps on those soft tires, and we're seeing drivers pit a little bit early. We're seeing them pit with 5 laps on their tires, 6 laps on their tires, 7 laps perhaps on their tires. So definitely these soft tires are not holding up very well around this track, even worse than what we anticipated. I remember you saying about 12 laps if you're able to manage it correctly. Either the drivers have not managed it correctly or they're just deteriorating, because we're seeing a lot of early pit stops. And look, Mike going underneath the Hellstone. The Hellstone had a problem in the same corner that he did last time, so I guess he's going just a little bit wide through that corner, and that's allowing the drivers to get a nice run underneath of him. And Mike actually clipping that curb and getting a little bit loose, hanging on to it there. That's going to allow the Hellstone to really close up on the back of him. He's going to go on the outside of them. They're side by side, entering the hairpin. The Hellstone around the outside of the Ferrari of Mike, but he goes so very wide. He has to basically slam the brakes to avoid hitting the wall. Mike gets back around him.
Absolutely, but look at Moreno. Moreno's in 5th place after some of the drivers have gone for their pits there as well. So Hailstone trying to close in on Mike here. Moreno could try and challenge Mike and Hailstone in the next lap or 2 here as well. But the Hailstone coming up to the World Champions here now, passing, try and get onto Mike here. 3/10 now. Needs to have a good speed here. Try and push on here as much as possible here as well. We're coming up to turn 2 now. This is the part where I don't know what's up with Hailstone, but it looks like he's massively struggling. But at the same time, there's no wing damage or anything like that I could see, unless he's being absolutely cautious in case he's got any penalties as well here. I didn't see any penalties much from Hailstone, but he might be on a couple of warnings here. Or he may have been a little bit mistaken. He's gone, still kept all right here, Tim.
Yeah, but Moreno's starting to close up on the back of that racing point now, and he's going to get underneath him, under the bridge, through the chicane, and Moreno cuts the corner, gets into the Hellstone, and he spins! He hangs on to it, but there's still a 3-second time penalty for Moreno.
That too wide there at that situation. It looks like Kryptos is trying to make the move here. So the 2 Germans try and battle out here on track here at the Canadian Grand Prix here, but at the same time, Moreno did try and make the move on the inside of turn 8 there, and it clipped at that point in time there. So hopefully he'll have to do what he'd try and do again here to try and push on it. But Mike's in the pits now. Same with the Hailstone, they're in the pits now. So Moreno would be in 4th here and try and close in on Nightshades in 3rd place by 2 seconds here. Tim.
Yeah, and I'm just going to have to call it. I don't think that the Hellstone really gave Moreno enough room around that corner as maybe he should have. It looked like he just decided to try to stay on his racing line, thinking Moreno would back out, and Moreno didn't, so there was that contact. Moreno tried to avoid it. He went over the curb and cut it, got that 3-second time penalty. There was still some contact, and he did a nice job at saving it, though, so hats off to Moreno. But definitely some dicey battles here for position and for points here today at Canada. Cliffy leading the way by 4.3 seconds over Scott Bugner, and Nightshades in 3rd. Moreno, of course, your points leader in 4th, with Rimac in 5th. And most of these drivers are on the reverse strategy now. A few of them have already pitted, so I think Rimac is the highest runner-up who started on softs, as he's actually trying to battle with Moreno now. Thought about making a move on the inside of that hairpin, but not able to do it. He will have the DRS on him, though, so let's see if he'll be able to pass him this time. I think he will. He is closing the gap significantly, and there goes Rimac around the Renault of Moreno and approaching the unlucky chicane to bypass the wall of champions. When will Moreno pit, though? Because he's only got 9 laps, about to have 10 laps on those medium tires. He can go so much longer, but he's also losing a lot of time to Rimac.
Absolutely, he needs to try and push on here, Moreno. And if he wants to try and challenge like Cliffy, at least Nightshades for the podium here, he needs to try and get a good start here as well. With on lap 11 of 35 on the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, Cliffy is in the lead in 1st, Scott Buckner is in 2nd place, Nightshades is in 3rd, Rimac in 4th place there as well. We got Rimac in 4th, Moreno in 5th, Scott Fielder in 6th, Oh, Stephen in 7th place, which is just watching live exclusive there with the back of the grid there as well. So, and then you got Nojgash in 8th, Mike in 9th, Hailstone in 10th, Cryptox is in 11th, Matty in 12th, and Sab in 13th place. What's your first reactions of the first 11 laps here, Tim?
It has definitely been a nail biter already. It's starting to kind of, space out and spread out a little bit. We do have some battles going around the mid to rear of the pack, but otherwise it's really starting to calm down and spread out. But the early laps were really dicey, as I kind of expected. However, I did expect a little bit more of a battle between Cliffy and Rymac after Rymac was able to bypass him. But once Rymac's tires wore down, there was really nothing he could do, and Cliffy just shot right by him, and now he's out to what is a 4.5 second lead over Scott Bugner, who has rebounded very nicely from his 5-place grid penalty, I must say.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Oh, Stephen Nojgash having a battle here up to turn 3 here. This is the part where you can easily make a silly mistake and hit the wall there, and also cost you a penalty as well here. Rymac could be closer to Nightshade here for 3rd place here as well. As I said, the battle for 3rd place, Nightshade's scope fielder as well. Same with Scott Buckner and Nojgash. At the moment here, it's heating up here massively there. We've got a 4-car battle here, Tim. We've got a 4-car, could be a 5 here if Cryptox can try and catch up to these guys here as well. Looks like Rymac could have a chance of making the move here on Nightshade, and he does, but still watching it from Nojgash's point of view here as well, because, and Scopes made the move on Moreno here for 5th place here, Tim.
Yeah, that he has. So Scopefielder trying to make a good race out of today in that Haas machine. Top 5, that's the points that you're really wanting to go for. And you got to remember, he is 24 points behind Moreno. So he is now gaining just a little bit on Moreno. Of course, Cliffy, who is in 2nd, is gaining on him. But that's another matter entirely. The fact is, Scopefielder running in 5th, getting those consistent points finishes is what he needs to do. And Moreno, he's in 6th. It's really a far cry from what we've seen earlier on in the season, especially when he won his race. However, that's still where he needs to be, is just getting points positions and keeping it clean. Absolutely.
But yeah, fair play to Scopefield to try and make the move on Moreno there. So I know the tyre wear should not be going on the medium tyres, to be fair. But I'm just going to have a quick glance at the stats for the medium tyre scenario again, because I know the 12 laps is the most that you could do on the softs. 19 laps is the way forward for the mediums, but obviously you need to do at least probably about 4 or 5 laps before then, so probably lap 14, 15 or maybe earlier, to try and keep it consistent on track here. It looks like Scott Bodner's doing that. Same with Moreno. They're about between 12th and 13th with the lap scenarios here as well. Stephen's struggling on the chicane there. It looks like it might be Nojgash trying to close in on Stephen here now, so this could be an opportunity of a lifetime here for Nojgash. He needs to try and make the move now. Oh, it looked like he was trying to make the move here massively there, but still holding on here for dear life here is Stephen in 6th place here. But look at this battle here, 5-car battle here, Tim, for 6th place. So what Locke said, from 6th to 11th will lose you out massively on points here, but still in the Canadian Grand Prix, what we have not mentioned about it during it there. Oh my days, Mike has made the move here, Tim, on the 2. Oh my days, that was close. That could have been a nasty collision there. It could have been an awful collision there. But Mike's just done it at the last minute there against Nojgash. But Nojgash should have the opportunity to make the move here on Mike here. Same with Hailstone and Cryptox to try and close in on Stephen there. Scott Bugner moves up to 4th now. Scopefield drops down to 5th place just before the pit entry there, so he must have done it there as well. So Nightshade has going to the pits there now. But Tim, unbelievable stuff here.
Yeah, Mike definitely not wasting any time and not taking no for an answer, getting by Nitro Gash. Now the question is, can he pick off Stephen? As it looks like some drivers ahead of them have finally started to pit. Looks like that's Nightshades who's pitted. And Stephen going very wide out of turn number 2, but looks like the momentum and the speed actually helped keep him in front of Mike, so maybe he knows something that we don't. Going through this tiny little chicane here, and Mike still just trying to chase down Stephen, but Stephen getting a really good exit and pulling away from that Ferrari now. So Stephen is really good around here on the defensive, and I'm actually very impressed. He's holding on to 5th place.
He is doing very well at the moment. He's on 9 laps of the medium tyres. Cliffy has got into the pit start with 14 laps since it started from the races, so 14 laps would be the way forward. So another 14 laps of the mediums and then 7 laps, or you can do the one stop, which he's trying to do, which is the hard tyres, to go all the way to the end of the race here. So Mike's going to have a chance here on the DRS straight here now. Rymac would be back up to the lead here, but he'll need to try and get at least a good opportunity here. Mike, oh my days. Oh, what? 2 in a bit. We got 2 wide there. We could have another 2 wide here of Cryptox here as well. But with the
Hellstone.
Hellstone.
Yeah, the Hellstone making a move.
Oh, this is brilliant. Just
contact there.
There's some contact there, Tim, but just at the nick of time there, the Hailstone. And looks like Cryptox is just trying to make the move here on Nitric Ash here for 8th place here. But, Tim, I do apologise, but that is just unbelievable racing there.
Nah, you're good. I think we both had the same reaction. We don't know what we were seeing. Oh my goodness, and Mike is spun! Mike is stopped and spun on the track! He had such a good race going, and now it is done! Not even sure what happened, but Mike is not going to be able to continue without wing damage. He's not going to be able to continue where in the place he was running, that's for sure, so he's going to have to pit and get that fixed. So unfortunate for Mike.
Absolutely, but look at Cryptox. Cryptox has made the move, the old switcheroo here. We got 2 wide here, 2 wide down the straight here. This is absolutely unbelievable, and he will have DRS as well. What? Cliffy's gone hard to the end. Yeah, I know, mate. Cliffy did have go hard all the way to the end of the race. I do apologise, guys. I've lost for words here as well. So at the moment here, Rymac will in the lead in 1st place. Moreno's got the fastest lap of the race so far in 10th place with a 1 minute 12.229. Obviously, if you're in the top 10 and you do get the fastest lap, you will be massively get an extra point as well. But also with the qualifying scenario, so you do get extra 2 points. So with Cliffy started as well, he'll get 2 extra points in the Drivers' Championship as well, and as well as his team as well. So at the moment here, unbelievable racing, and this is what we love about the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, as well as everyone else's with F1, F2, F3, F4, as well as the Performance League, and also the Xbox Performance League and F2, and also the PC League as well. Unbelievable stuff here. Tim?
Still watching this battle between Cryptox, the Hellstone, and O. Steven. Looks like the Hellstone is starting to close in on O. Steven. He's going to have the DRS on him down this straightaway, trying to look on the inside, but not able to do anything with it. A little bit of contact going into the chicane there. And the Hellstone lucky to not get a penalty that time. It looked like he almost got the chicane. There was just a little bit of contact. Looking on the inside of O. Steven now into turn number 1. They're side by side. Some contact still, and the Hellstone almost spins, almost through the grass. He's losing a significant amount of positions. Unfortunate for the Hellstone. Contact from O. Steven sent him back to 8th.
And it's unfortunate stuff there from the Hellstone, but Moreno moves up to 9th place after moving from Nitric Ash there. So obviously,
and look at Cryptox. Look at Cryptox trying to close the gap on O. Steven as O. Steven gets very loose through that corner. Cryptox is getting so very close, he might actually have him in the DRS zone here. He's going to try to go around the outside. They're going to be side by side through this next chicane. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, Steven does. Cryptox backs out of it. And look at Nightshades behind them. He's joining this mix, and the Hellstone is recovered. He's back in it. Moreno and the Renault, he is back in it as well.
5-car battle here. Oh my days! Max dropped down to 2nd place. Cliffy. Oh my days! Cryptox has hit the grass. Cryptox has hit the grass there. We can have two wides here. We've got Nightshades, Cryptox, Moreno, and Hailstone. We don't know which positions they're going to finish here. Oh my days! Tim. This is unbelievable. Oh no! There's been a hit. Cryptox has hit the wall champions there. And now, yeah, see, lost a bit of his front wing there. Now it's Nightshades moves up to 5th. Moreno moves up to 7th place now. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant racing there from all these drivers here, Tim.
Yeah, Moreno working on O'Steven now. He's going to try to go on the inside, not able to do anything with it that time. He's going to have to wait for a DRS zone. That's going to be his best bet. O'Steven, he's gotten very loose each and every time through these next set of corners. Does he do it this time? He does not. He hangs on to it, very stable, but also somewhat slow as Cryptox gets into the wall again. Moreno goes by O'Steven. O'Steven dropping back to 7th now. So Moreno, a man on a mission, as now the Hellstone trying to work on Cryptox, who probably has some wing damage. Cryptox trying to go by O'Steven. They're side by side as they approach the hairpin. Who will win out of this? It is O'Steven and Cryptox still side by side. The Hellstone gets in there and makes contact with the back of Cryptox. Hellstone trying to make a move on Cryptox now. They're side by side. Cryptox is going to have the advantage. O'Steven's going to be a sitting duck. These drivers are going to have the DRS, but I think all of them have wing damage. Cryptox in the Red Bull really starting to pull away from the Hellstone now. Starting to gain on O'Steven, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move through the chicane, but they are going into the pits to fix their front wings.
All three drivers, they're all going at the same time here. They are all going in the pits there at the same time here as well. Rymac struggling with those medium tyres here now, which has now brought Scott Buckner into play here. Might have the overtake mode here perfectly here to try and make the move here. He might have to wait for a little bit longer here on the DRS straight here as well. But Tim, would you say that's your bestest ever moment there as well? That 5-car battle there.
That was absolutely crazy. Did not expect to see that today, but it was good nonetheless, and Moreno seems to be the big winner out of all that, coming out in P6. He's about the only one that I think came out of it without any kind of wing damage.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job there. He's doing absolutely fantastic there. It looks like Scott Butler's made the move here on Rymac here. Oh, Rymac has just gone into the pits there as well, so I thought Scott lost a bit of front wing damage, but it doesn't look like he had. After that, it looked like he had a bit of contact there with Rymac, but he's still in contact there because he's trying to close in on Cliffy here. If he can try and get ahead of Cliffy before, it's going to be... I don't think he'll do it because obviously Cliffy will go all the way to the end on hards here as well. So fantastic stuff there as well. Nightshades will try and get ahead of... well, I say try and get ahead of Rymac, but Rymac's already got ahead with the medium tyres here, so he's going to go all the way to the end as well. But unbelievable stuff here, Tim. Who are you watching so far?
Still watching the battle between Scott Bugner and Cliffy, but I'm going to move my focus now to Moreno because he's in 5th after... I believe he was able to get by somebody. It looks like Scopefielder had to pit, so he's back in 7th. So Moreno in 5th, just about a second behind Nightshades, and he might have a chance to really pass him here soon because he is gaining on 0.8 of a second, 0.7 of a second as they go through this little chicane. They're approaching the hairpin now. There's a DRS zone after the hairpin. Let's see if Moreno can take advantage of that. He got a really good exit out of that set of corners down this straightaway and through the hairpin. A big lockup from Nightshades is going to help Moreno even more. Going down this straightaway now, as they approach the DRS zone, Moreno is going to have it, and Nightshades will be the sitting duck, but will Moreno be fast enough to pass that Haas car? It looks like he's going to. He's going on the inside, and he clears him before he gets to the corner, but look at that. Nightshade's really close to Moreno, not going to let it go that easily. He's saying, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to work for it. Nightshade's not going down without a fight.
Absolutely, and Moreno, obviously he'll have to pit again. Same with Nightshades, possibly Scott as well. But obviously Rymac will not go back into the pits unless he has a massive mistake there. Scope, Matty, O'Steven, Sab, Cryptox, Hailstone and Mike, they all won't be able to do any more pit stops unless they make a massive mistake there as well. Nightshades will have to pit there as well. Jesper says, love that Moreno. He absolutely loved that as well. But let's go back to the top 2 here now. Scott on the DRS straight here now on the leader of Cliffy here. Will he try and make the move here? He does make the move here into first place here. And he does.
Wow, so Scott Bugner.
Yeah, Tim, carry on.
Wow.
Carry on.
Yeah, Scott Bugner just making a move on Cliffy. I turned to it right as he completed the pass. I'm just surprised. I thought that Cliffy had it, and you know, to be fair, Scott Bugner's tires is going to wear down, so Cliffy's got a chance to get back by him, but that just goes to show the difference between the medium and the hard tires as far as pace around this course here. And look, Scott Bugner getting so very close to that wall, but just keeping off of it. Both of these cars, probably the best 2 cars that we have in the field today.
Absolutely, they've done nothing but fantastic work. That's absolutely brilliant stuff from those 2 drivers there as well. But like I said, I did say don't write off Moreno. and he's doing a fantastic job here in 4th place as well. Sean says, Sean Buckner, good evening to you, mate. He says, hold it all together now, Scott Buckner. Unless Scott's going to go all the way to the end with 12 laps of the medium tyres, it's going to be tough, because obviously, like I said, it's going to be very, very tough here. We're probably about 19 laps of the medium tyres that could last it there, but it all depends if they've got the good management here. And also with Cliffy's tyres can go all the way to the end here. He's not going to pit anymore now. That was, without doubt, one hell of a move there from Scott. But what does Scott need to do now? Obviously, he's 6 cents ahead of Cliffy. He needs to try and get a good gap here. Otherwise, he still has to pit either way. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Scott Buckner is more than likely going to have to pit. If he's managed his tires well, he might be able to hang on to it, but hanging on to it and still winning the race is going to be a bit of a long shot, because the tires are going to be right at the end of their life if he stays out until the end of the race. It's possible, but very unlikely that he's going to be able to walk away with a win.
But he could get a podium here. He could get a podium out of it. Do you agree, Tim?
Yeah, he definitely could get a podium, second or maybe third, because Rimac is 16 seconds behind Cliffy, who is in second at the moment. And Rimac is actually starting to kind of chip away at that gap just a little bit. But that's, you got to think, that's almost a free pit stop, 16 seconds. It's just a few seconds short of one. So Scott Buckner and Cliffy are both in a good position for a podium at the very least.
Absolutely. I did say he'll have to pit anyway, I think, Jason. Good evening to you, mate. He's saying Scott has only used mediums, he has to pit anyway. So, yeah, just saying, like, if he did carry on throughout there as well. Hailstone's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Thanks for that, Jason. But like I said, it's 2 drivers battling out here. We've got the top 2 here of Scott and Cliffy, and also Nitrogash and Hailstone for 10th and 11th place, respectively, here as well. But at the moment here on lap 25 and 35, 11 laps to go here. Who's been your best driver so far, Tim, with 11 laps to go?
Honestly, Scott Buckner, because he had the 5-place grid penalty, so I think he actually started around 9th place, and so he was able to work his way up to what is now the lead. And of course, as it's been pointed out, is that he's only been on medium, so he is going to have to pit. I assume that he's going for a medium soft strategy. That's about the only one that I think would logically make sense at this point, is that in the next few laps he pits for the soft tires and tries to use the advantage of the soft tires to catch Cliffy. But nonetheless, whether he finishes first, second, third, Scott Buckner has done a good job to overcome that 5-place grid penalty. And I'd say that so far he is the best driver that I've seen today. Perhaps my vote for driver of the day.
Fair dues. But also, Scott Buckner has made the biggest moves at the moment here with 9 positions here. Moreno is in second with 8 positions, and the title of 3rd place is Nightshades and Matty. And Moreno has pitted now, so Moreno will try and go on the soft tyres to, which I would believe, unless, yeah, he will go for the softs. So he'll go all the way to the end here now with those soft tyres to try and push on and get the fastest lap and get those extra points there, and try and get, if he can try and get onto like 4th place, that'll be a best day's work from Moreno after what happened in Q2 in the qualifying here tonight. But Tim, I'm still watching this battle here of the top 2 here. Cliffy's getting closer to Scott here on from the mediums and the hard tyres there as well here, Tim, so I'll let you do the honours.
Yeah, so Scott and Cliffy still just battling it out. Cliffy getting very close to Scott Buckner here, and it's really the only battle that we're seeing going on at the moment, except it does look like the Hellstone is starting to gain on Nitro Gas, so I'll be monitoring that here in just a moment. But look at that, a big lockup from Scott Buckner is going to allow Cliffy to close in even more to Scott Buckner, and you know, this is essentially the battle for the win here, because Rimac is 16 seconds back. He's really not in contention for any kind of victory unless there is a safety car. That would actually be wonderful news for Rimac, but not so wonderful news for Scott Buckner or Cliffy, especially Cliffy, who has dominated most of the race today, led a number of laps, and is running in second. In fact, I think that this is the lowest that he's been all day, except for when he actually had to pit for the medium tires the first time, or the hard tires. So Cliffy just doing a good job here and wanting to make it 3 wins on the season.
Yeah, he might get 3 wins on the 3 wins this season, but it will be happening. But it all depends on how he can try and keep the balance here, and as long as there's no safety car as well, that's the main talking about. Right, Scott has gone to the pits now for the soft tyres here now, so this is the point now where he'll definitely get possibly ahead of Nightshade, so that'll be Matty has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Moreno's trying to close in on O'Stephen now for 7th place. Scott Scopefielder trying to close in on Nightshades on 4th place here, and Moreno's made the move on the hairpin corner. Moreno's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So here we go, try to go side by side here. Moreno and O'Stephen here. O'Stephen will. Moreno has the DRS as well. We'll try and push on here, try and close in on, which I believe, I think that's Mike ahead, but obviously he's going to be a bit lapped as well. But here we go, Moreno needs to try and close in on Matty here, and he does get the fastest lap of the race, Moreno, with a 1:11.537. Tim.
Taking a look at Scott Bugner now. He came out just behind Rymac, about half a second behind him. And now with those soft tires, he's struggling to get by Rymac because Rymac is just sort of like a rolling roadblock when you compare him to the fresh softs that Scott Bugner has, in a little bit of contact going into the corner. Just very, very minor contact. That's the kind of move that you'd see at a short track over here in America. It's just what we call a bump and run, except Scott Bugner was not able to quite run by Rymac, but he did that time after getting the DRS down the straightaway, so move Scott Bugner up into the 2nd position, and I think he's going to pull away from that Racing Point machine. The only question is, and I don't think it's possible, but is it, by any stretch of the imagination, possible for Scott Bugner to make up a 16-second time deficit to Cliffy?
If you want my honest opinion, he'll have to produce really, really good qualifying laps. And I mean qualifying laps without any issues at all. No. I'm going to say no. Moreno's got the fastest lap again with a 1:11.278 now. It's going to be very, very tough for Scott unless Cliffy makes a massive mistake. The gap will come down, don't get me wrong, the gap will come down, but I could see the tyre wear going on laps 7 to 8, and that's where Cliffy might just hold on here, Tim. Do you agree with that, or do you think not?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Scott Bugner is going to be finishing about 5 seconds or so behind Cliffy. I think that's about all that he can really do with the time that we have left, because Cliffy just crossed the line to begin lap 30, so that means we only have 6 more laps of racing to go. So for Scott Bugner to be able to catch Cliffy and get by him, he would have to make up practically 5 seconds a lap.
Yeah, and he has got the fastest lap at the moment, 1:10.6, but will he keep that going up? I don't know, but with 6 laps to go, anything could happen here. So at the moment here, we're just watching this battle here for Cryptox, Nitrogas, and then slowly Hailstone and Nightshades for 10th and for 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th place here. We're on lap 30 of 35. Nitrogas has got 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Cliffy trying to get the again first place after he had three times in the Q1, Q2 and Q3 with the pole positions and holding on for first place here. Scott Bugner is in 2nd, Rymac is in 3rd, Scopefielder in 4th, Moreno in 5th, and Matty is in 6th, O'Stephen in 7th, Cryptox is in 8th, Nitrogash is in 9th, Hailstone in 10th, Nightshades is in 11th, Sab is in 12th, and Mike is in 13th place. Just watching this battle here between Cryptox and Nitrogash, and then the Hailstone slowly coming closer and closer with Nightshades as well. What do you think is going to happen here with this battle between Cryptox and Nitrogash, as well as Hailstone and Nightshades?
Honestly, I think that not a lot is going to happen. I think that Nitrogash is going to get by Cryptox because he's getting very close to him. I think that might be about the only thing that we're going to see out of this. Otherwise, I think they're going to finish about how they're running right now. However, with Nightshades on the soft tires, he probably has a good chance of improving his position, but there goes Nitrogash around Cryptox and clears him. Will Nightshades try the same thing on the Hellstone? Not that time, but it's only a matter of time, I think, before he gets by that Racing Point machine. So Cryptox and Hellstone are going to be the big losers out of this. this once it's all said and done, I do believe, just because they've had to stay out on the medium tires, and Nightshades has decided to pit for the softs, and there he goes underneath the Hellstone, side by side now, but will he be able to clear him before they get to the corner? He does only just clear him, and Nightshades, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings after cutting that corner, so never mind, I think Nightshades is going to be a pretty big loser out of this one too.
Absolutely, but obviously, as you said earlier, the penalties are going to be the crucial points here as well, and you don't want to make too much penalties here or to make a DSQ afterwards. 15 seconds or over, sorry, 50 seconds and over, you will get the DSQ. Bear in mind, obviously, with other penalties maybe not included as well. But if you do get over 15 seconds, you will be panic stations. Well, you're already being panic stations anyway. But at the moment here, Nitrogas is going to be a city duck here. We could have a 3-car battle here for 8th place here as well. Nitrogas trying to hold on for dear life here. Looks like Cryptox is trying to hold on there as well. Looks like Nightshades, will he have the momentous move here? But Cryptox with that DRS as well. It's DRS train here as well from Nitrogas here, Tim.
Yeah, that it really is, actually. So Nitro Gas just trying to hang on and not be overtaken by a bunch of drivers behind him with a lot less downforce on the straightaways. Of course, Nightshades still hanging out back there in 10th after that 3-second time penalty. I guess maybe he's lost his motivation. A little bit of contact there to lock up into Cryptox, but everything's A-okay. I don't think there's any wing damage there. The Hellstone riding just behind Nightshades might be able to capitalize on this. I think he's going to be able to get by him after the time penalties, depending on any time penalties that the Hellstone may have accumulated throughout the race. But with Nightshades just kind of on the soft tires, it's going to be a hard task to really pass him on track.
Cryptox looks like he's lost his breaking point there. Now it's brought Nightshades into play here and moves up to 9th here. But I think this will be a DRS scenario here. As Nightshades did add the DRS, and looking at it now, he's trying to make the move here on Nightshades. So just watching it from Cryptox's point of view. What a move! Brilliant move there, just at the chicane part there from Nightshades there. What a move! Brilliant there from Nightshades. Tim?
Yeah, good job on Nightshades. If he can get 3 seconds ahead of these guys, then he won't have to worry about losing position to them. But I'm not sure if he's got enough tire wear left to be able to do that, because it's 1.7 seconds to O. Steven just ahead of him. So theoretically, he could get up there and pass O. Steven, but it's going to be a big ask because he's already got 4 laps on those tires. So it's just going to come down to the wire as far as tire wear is concerned with Nightshades and that time penalty. But going to take a look now, just from my own perspective, to see where Cliffy is. He's 6.7 seconds ahead of Scott Bugner, who is just now crossing the line on the front stretch. So really the only battle we got going on is between these cars here with Cryptox, Nitro Gas, Hellstone, and Nightshades. But lap 34 of 35 is coming down to the end.
Absolutely, you was nearly right here actually with the gap between Cliffy and Scott here. You said about 5 seconds. I tell you what, this could be it probably won't happen here, but it would be a dramatic ending here if Scott can manage to try and get closer to Cliffy, but it would be epic stuff here as well. So Nitro Gas just trying to hold on for dear life here. Cryptox needs to try and get a good exit here as well. It looks like Nitro is trying to close in on O. Steven there for 7th place here as well. But like I said, we're on the penultimate lap here of this frantic race here, the Canadian Grand Prix here as well. If you just joined, where the hell have you been? It was a classic race. So many battles galore here. You just never know what's coming or going here. At the moment here, Nightshades could be closing in on O. Steven here, so I'm just going to go back to that battle there as well. It looks like right, Cliffy's just crossed over the line to start his final lap here. 5-second gap here between Cliffy and Scott here. Nightshades banging out to O. Steven here. Nightshade's got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings though. So that's damage limitations here. And we have, oh my days, we nearly had the 2 wide. Maybe we have. Beautiful. Beautiful move there. And O. Steven's had a massive back end there, Tim.
Yeah, so O. Steven just trying to hang on. Nightshades, though, with 3-second time penalty, with 2 3-second time penalties, actually, is not going to enjoy the results at the end of this race, but he's still just trying to salvage anything that he can. Meanwhile, Cliffy is currently about to round the hairpin for the final time. Looks like there's some lap traffic there that he's had to deal with, but that's A-okay. Cliffy, though, they're in first. looks like he might just be able to win this race. Scott Bugner, 4.9 seconds behind, not going to be able to do anything with it.
Absolutely. I think I have to wait and see how it goes here. But at the moment here, fair play to Scott, who try a challenge and to close the gap there. But Cliffy has just passed the wall of champions here because he is crossing the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix here. Well done to him. Fantastic drive from him. Scott Bugner finishes in second. Brilliant drive from him as well. Rymac will finish in third place as well. Let's see how many. He's got a bit of penalties as well. So where's Scope? Scope is coming up to the chicane part here. There's a 16-second gap there. So Cliffy, Scott, and Rymac at the moment, unless like I said, if Scope has got no penalties or maybe have, definitely those three will be in the podium here tonight. Yeah, Scope 10-second gap. So Rymac, Cliffy, Scope. Cliffy, Scott, and Rymac will be in the podiums in a moment or two. Scopefield will finish in fourth. Moreno, brilliant drive from him. After warping in Q2, will finish in fifth. Matty will finish in sixth. Nigel in seventh. Just is Cryptox in eighth place. Nightshades is in ninth. Stephen and Sab will cross the line in 10th and 11th respectively there. And just waiting for the hailstone now to come up to the chicane party now for the final time here as well. But if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel and this video for all the live races here as well. So the hailstone finishes in 12th, and that is race wrapped up on tonight. Yeah, the game has chosen Scott Bugner as the driver of the day as well. So we're just waiting for the celebrations, and then we're going to talk about the race itself. Sean says, awesome racing, boys. Absolutely fantastic racing as well, and it's just absolutely swell. But really unlucky there from Scott there. So had he not had he had a bit of an advantage, I think he would have a little bit challenged Cliffy. But it's just tough stuff there as well. But at the moment here, we're just waiting for the classification. Then we're going to talk to the drivers here in a moment or two. So we're just waiting for that. Here are your race classification for the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League at the Canadian Grand Prix as well. We've got Cliffy in first place, Scott Bugner in second, Rymac in third, Scope in fourth, Moreno in fifth, Matty in sixth, Nigel Gash in seventh, Cryptox is in eighth place, Nightshades. Unfortunately, he's had over 15 seconds, so he, at the moment, temporary is DSQ. So O'Stephen will finish in 9th, Sab in 10th, and Hailstone with 24 seconds, he would have the DSQ as well. And Mike will finish in 12th, in 11th place. 12th place as well. Well, he's moved up, basically. So we're just going to wait for the drivers to come in, and if you bear with us a sec, guys, we'll go invite them in for the podiums here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Cliffy, Rymac, and also from Scott as well, to hear their thoughts of the race itself. So we're just going to invite them in to hear their thoughts on a frantic race. With Rymac, had a great start. I'm not sure exactly what happened from his point of view, but I'd love to hear from his thoughts. But Cliffy trying to keep that momentum of from the qualifyings to hold on into P1 as well. And then also Scott trying to push on at the moment. But that would be the main talking point as well. So we're just waiting for the lads to join in. So we're just waiting. So Rymac has just joined in. We're just going to wait for Cliffy and for Scott to join in. And while we're doing that, it will be an absolute unbelievable moment here. So the guys are all in. Before you say anything, guys, please make sure your loud voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings. There's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys all slowly get themselves set up and ready to go, I will be talking to the winner of Cliffy at the Canadian Grand Prix, and also with Scott finishing in second place, just missed out by 4 seconds, I believe it was, to Cliffy there after that soft end battle there, and also Rymac in third place as well. Guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice one. So we'll be talking to Cliffy first, then Scott, and then Rymac. Cliffy, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. You should be ecstatic, mate, because that's your third win of the season. I'm sure you'll be bouncing with delight there. How did it feel tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't do much practice tonight, but I knew I was going to be on the pace because I think most people saw that Canada is my favourite track in the game. So, yeah, I mean, the main thing was to get a good start, and I did. I only lost one position, so from there I knew I could control the race because I was obviously going to do the one stop.
Absolutely. I thought you was going to, like we said, me and Tim was thought about if he was going to go for the two stop or the one stop, but with the pace that you had in the mediums, in the stint that you had in the race there, you was going to go for the one stop either way, regardless. But did you at one point was panicking that Rymac went past you at one point in that first stint as well?
I mean, obviously Canada's very easy to stay behind someone, given it's mostly straight. So I knew if I stayed behind Rymac, got his DRS, I knew that. Obviously, I think the stuff's last 5-6 laps maybe, and after that they start to drop off. And sort of when he got to like lap 6, lap 7, I decided to sort of get past. I didn't want to lose any time. So I knew Scott was, I think, in 5th or 6th, and I knew he was going to start climbing places as well, because obviously he was in the mediums as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we saw, you kept it going of like getting the hat trick of the qualifying positions of P1, and that was epic stuff from your side point of view as well. But I know the gap between yourself and Scott. Oh no, it was like 16 seconds in the last stint. But did you at one point a little bit panicked? Just a little bit panic of Scott's pace at the end?
Not really. I mean, obviously being on Warden hards and him on fresh softs is obviously going to close the gap by quite a bit. I knew he had a time penalty, so I knew if I just sort of kept him away a little bit, then I'd obviously win the race. But on the last lap, I was trying to push to see if I could set the fastest lap, but through the first sector I got a time penalty, so I decided to just let off and bring the car home.
Absolutely. But with the Alfa Romeo, this kind of feel like an upgrade car for you after you had the Williams for like, I think it was 4 races or maybe 6. Was it 4 races if I remember it right?
Yeah, it was 4. Yeah.
4 races. So this is kind of feels like you've had an upgrade for this race and Belgium. But one more question, Belgium. What's your thoughts of the track? Are you going to be at the same pace as Canada next week?
Again, I like Belgium. I had a race run there recently and I ran quite well, so I'm looking forward to it. Being in the Alpha, I mean, straight line speed is going to be there. It's just that middle sector where I'm going to have to work on maybe adding a little bit more downforce to try and sort of keep up with the guys who are in much better cars. So I expect like the Renaults and the Racing Points to run well next week, but I want to try and give it my all and see if I can get another win or if not a podium.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff from your side there, Cliffy. You did a brilliant job as well tonight. And to be fair, can anyone try and stop you in the next week's race? We'll have to find out. But at the moment, I can't see you getting stopped. It could be your 4th win of the season, but we have to wait and see at the Belgian Grand Prix. So, Cliffy, well done for tonight. Well done for your win at the Canadian Grand Prix. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But thank you very much for joining tonight, Cliffy.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one. Scott, first time for a long time here for your side here to join in the comms box. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm not too bad, how are you?
Not too bad. Tell us about your thoughts overall of the pace that you had in the Canadian Grand Prix. Looks like you had brilliant pace, but just missed out on the win by 4 seconds, I think it was. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I might have won it if I didn't get that 5 place grid penalty in qualifying.
Funny enough, you mentioned that did pop up on the screen there, but what actually did happen? Because I didn't technically saw that on screen. Saw it on screen, but it just popped up at the bottom there. But what actually happened, Scott?
Me and Rymac did an outlap, and we thought, well, we don't know whether to go out and waste a set of tyres. We just sort of did like a slow lap, an outlap. And I literally looked down at my phone, looked back up again, and I just hit the back of it. I hit the side of Rymac, and I thought, oh no. And yeah, we're literally only doing like 25 mph. That was the worst bit. Yeah, that's what got me the 5 place grid penalty, which is a shame because I think if I'd have been, sort of third or fourth, I think I could have sort of taken it to Cliffy, I think.
Would you reckon that would have been a different story, different strategy from Cliffy's side then, had you been started in fourth, would you reckon, from your point of view?
Yeah, I think with my pace, I think I could have probably forced him to maybe do a 2-stop, maybe, because my pace was there in the race, definitely on the mediums. I had really good pace on the mediums, so I think, I think I could have won that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, like I said, me and Tim. Well, Tim asked me the question. Think, can Scott try and catch up with Cliffy at 16 seconds? Massively. But I tell you what, it was. I said I really was hoping you would try and get as close to Cliffy as possible. I said no, but I really do hope you'll bounce back because you've got the pace with that Alpha Tauri car. Do you feel like it's another upgrade for you for this race and next week?
I think it does, yeah. I think from memory, I think I've been in the Haas for every race this season. I don't think I've changed the car.
I don't think you have. I think you have been in the Haas car for all that time. So it's
actually nice having grip.
for a bit on that one anyway. But like I said, Scott, that is impressive stuff there. And what's your thought of Belgium from your point of view? Do you think you can emulate what you and Cliffy have done tonight, or do you think it will be a different story? Hopefully not hit right back at the back in the pits.
Yeah,
obviously not.
I'll go out first and qualify next time so he can hit the back of me. No, I'm strong at Belgium. In the practice pre-season race we had, I was on the front row of Gamer, only half a tenth off, so the pace is there at Belgium, but obviously in the AlphaTauri straight line's not great. So I'm going to have to work on that. Sector 2, where Cliffy might struggle, I think I'm going to be quite quick through there. So it's going to be swings and roundabouts, but I'm hungry for a win. I want to win, so that'll be my aim.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. It's good to see you back in the comms box to join us in the questions on there as well. But I really do hope you'll be back next week and try and see if you can emulate from second to first at Belgium there as well. But well done for tonight, mate. You can stay if you want or shoot off. It's up to you, mate. But well done for second place tonight. Brilliant job from your side. Ryback, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Not bad, Malc. How are you?
Not too bad. It's been a while, hasn't it? As well, same.
Yeah.
I've
only been racing for a few rounds in realistic performance, so I think it's probably F3 was the last time I've spoke to you, Malc.
Yes, it is. And
or maybe last season realistic performance.
Yeah, absolutely. With your pace tonight, you did a great start in the race itself. Did you feel like, obviously we had to restart because of the issues, but with the great start that you had against Cliffy, did you want to try and push on after you had that second gap in that first stint?
I didn't really want to start on the soft tyres, if I'm being honest, Malc. In Q2 I got impeded on one of my hot laps, and medium tyres became a wee bit too warm to go and do another stint, so lucky enough to actually get through to Q3 because I wasn't doing too great in Q2 at all. But yeah, I tried to extend it. Cliffy's too quick though. Wasn't really much that I could do and just had to do my own race. A wee bit surprised to see him go on to the 1-stop, but is what it is. If it was a 2-stop, obviously after the first pit stop I made and I came out in front, if he did have another one, it might have been a wee bit closer towards the end, but Cliffy's obviously done the right thing to go and win the race.
Absolutely, but don't get me wrong, Rymac, obviously this is your third race of the season and you've got yourself a podium for the first time this season. Obviously you started at, I believe, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which was in race round 5, I believe it was. So from your point of view here, surely with the racing point at Belgium with the straight line speed, that should give you a massive advantage, surely, at Belgium.
Yeah, it should do. It's night and day in comparison to the Williams for the last 2 rounds, so it's not a track that I feel that I'm terribly quick at, but it's definitely one that I enjoy, so maybe put a good wee bit of practice in, and yeah, racing point being one of the quicker in a straight line, it should excel. Reverse grid will be interesting too, I think, although there's only 13 on the grid tonight. That should put me P10 in a probably perfect position to just climb forward.
Absolutely. From your point of view, also from the Canadian Grand Prix race itself, you had some great battles along the way, and I've, like I said, yourself, Scott, and Cliffy, you had some great battles, and you had some great momentous stuff into the top 3 itself. But what was your best battle that you remembered tonight?
Really just battling myself, to tell you the truth, Malc. It's just knowing when others are going to pit. That's when you do the push laps. Try to get myself out in front of Cliffy after the first stop, which worked.
Yeah.
Second stop in front of Scott, but yeah, Scott had immense pace tonight as well, coming out in the fresh set of softs. There wasn't really much that I could do, so it was more just kind of driving around. I think only actually defended once against Cliffy, and he still got past, so not much battling going on, just a straightforward drive to the finish.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. And like I said, Rymac, it's been a pleasure to see you on the comms box as well. Same with Scott, same with Cliffy as well. But well done for getting 3rd place. You did a brilliant job. I thought you was going to try and push on from Cliffy's point of view on the mediums, but hopefully you'll bounce back and try and get hopefully another podium here next week at the Belgium Grand Prix. So you can stay if you want, Rymac, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But thank you very much for joining tonight, mate. Well done on that for P3. So thank you to Cliffy, Scott, and Rymac for their podium questions to join in as well. Tim, final thoughts, just quickly, moments there. What's your thoughts of the Canadian Grand Prix from your point of view?
Well, it certainly did not cease to disappoint. We saw a lot of differing strategies. A lot of drivers really going on the reverse strategy for medium to softs or medium hards, and we saw that was the strategy that really worked out the best for most of them. But congratulations to our podium finishers. Congratulations to Cliffy on his 3rd win of the year. I think it was a pretty good race, and I'm just ready for the next one.
Absolutely. Have to wait and see what happens at the Belgian Grand Prix, which is next week for round 8. Make sure you tune in on Thursday night at 8 p.m. With myself, Malc, and Tim. There will be no qualifying next week. It will be the reverse grid, so obviously Cliffy, Scott, and Rymac will be right at the back of the grid to see if they can try and push on to get another podium. Hopefully. We'll have to wait and see on that one there. But they've done a brilliant job here tonight at the Canadian Grand Prix. And I'll say thank you very much for everyone that's joined the session. For the final time, can you please make sure to subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel and also this video for all the live races as well. Fantastic stuff there as well. We'll see you all next week at the Belgian Grand Prix. Take it easy, guys. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.